Manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los on a busy Monday. Glad that you're here. So much to talk about. Where do we begin, Los? Where would you like to begin?
So very busy.
It is, man. There's a lot going on in this world. And
it's a big weekend around here.
It is, yeah. Got Army Navy this weekend. Is that what you're talking about? You're probably not what you're talking about, was it?
Well, I guess I can throw that in there, too. It's a pageantry game.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It is. I love it.
It's fun to watch.
I always watch it. Yeah.
And when you're a little college football starved, when you're looking around for your fix,
it's funny you say
find
that.
Army Navy.
We were, last night after dinner, we were in our nightly rummy game with my son, and he was like, the only thing about this whole college football playoff being announced, he was like, we don't got Georgia football this weekend.
No, not until January 1st.
That's what I'm saying. So he was already where you just were.
Well, I have kind of looked at it on the schedule here. So the next round of games, I believe, fall on December 19th. Okay. So you're not going that long. You're going 11 days. 11 days without college football, and then you get the big stuff happening.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun yesterday. To get the breakdown at noon, which they stretched out all the way till 12:40 with the selection show.
Yes. I was having it because we get done at church on at noon. So literally I'm driving, not looking at my phone, I promise you. Yeah, and so finally
that's how I watched all of Game of Thrones. It's fine.
Yeah. I finally handed my phone to my wife and was like, "Can you read me this?" And the only thing was the headline that Notre Dame was left out, and I was like, "Well, this is interesting. Let's go from here."
I really thought that they were going to get in.
I did too.
And that you were going to have one group of 5 team get in. But just to lay it all out there, the reason why you do have James Madison and Tulane, you did have the group of 5 that were previously suing the Power 5, now Power 4 conferences because there was a lack of access to the college football playoffs. So now there is a mandate involved that you have to have at least one of them. And if they qualify high enough, you got to get a multitude of them in there, or else the entire system falls apart because of suing and having lawsuits going back and forth.
So when they get just waxed, and then people are going to be like, "Oh my God,
oh, they're not supposed to be here." No, that's true.
Yeah, right.
I mean, last year you had the benefit or the detriment. It was Boise State was that team.
Yeah.
Now, they earned a bye. They ended up losing in the first round or second round. I think it was like 31-14 or something like that to Penn State. So it wasn't like they were blown out, but they also weren't that competitive in that game.
And I don't expect that.
No, you're looking at the winner of Tulane and Ole Miss, and that's who you're going to see if you're Georgia in the Sugar Bowl.
Right, which will be Ole Miss.
Which also is damn sexy.
Well, a lot of great conversation because obviously Lane Kiffin not being there.
All things being equal, I would rather see, if you're a Georgia fan, that team than to have to play the winner that's potentially Texas A&M.
Yeah.
That's who Ohio State would look into hosting.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, what is damn sexy, though, I know that there's going to be the argument of Alabama getting in as a three-loss football team.
Yeah.
That argument is in part because the SEC and the Big Ten, they're running this thing.
Of course.
You're going to take care of those teams.
Yeah. Of course.
But you get a matchup in Norman, Oklahoma, between Alabama and OU. That's fun.
It's a rematch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
Dre,
fun.
How do you feel about that, Dre?
I'm excited to go back to Oklahoma, take care of business there. I was sore about the game on Saturday night. They did not show up.
They did not.
They got beaten up.
They got boat raced.
They when I saw the Georgia players that were, as the kids say, taking belt to ass. When they were taking off their belts and swinging them around, I was like, I mean, that's what they did.
That's what happened for sure. It was fun, obviously for me and our friend group who watched together. We're all Georgia fans, so we enjoyed the moment. because I know your sweet girlfriend is a Georgia fan. Did she just rub it in on you? Is that what got you all
She took
sore?
it pretty easy on me. We were actually at we were at Glover Park over in the Marietta Square.
Yeah.
So I was fully outnumbered. It was for her sister or her brother's birthday. So it was a big party, surprise party for him. Everything's great
cool.
with that.
Yeah.
Her parents are there, his whole friend group and everything. Everybody's a Georgia fan except for me.
Yeah.
And after the first half, I knew. I was like, well,
Yeah, boy,
this is
ain't-
not my night.
It's not going to go well. Yeah.
I was excited about Kennesaw State winning Conference USA and getting a bowl game.
That was cool on
awesome.
Friday.
Heck
Find the silver lining.
Watch that game against Jacksonville State, and it was a back and forth, man.
To be a
It came down to the very last minute.
But to be a 2-win team, basically 2 years ago,
Yeah.
it shows you how quickly things now turn.
And the expectation of why that some of these big programs have that.
And to point this out, it used to be like first to 40. If you're a great football team in college football, you're going to average 40 points a game and you're going to roll through people and then you'll finally play somebody at the end. Because of the parity now, where there are so many talented players that are in so many different programs that everybody has somebody, I think now it's turned into, it looks like what you saw in the Big Ten title game. That was a 13-10 football game.
Yeah.
The
With two really
ACC
good
title
teams.
game
Yeah.
was a 24-all game before overtime with a 7-win Duke team.
Yeah. They got some ball players, no doubt.
And Kennesaw State, again, able to turn it around much quicker these days.
Dude, it's
And quarterback they got that was the first time I'd watched one of their games on TV.
same here.
Amari Odom, their quarterback. That dude, he's not going to be number one pick or anything like that, but he might be a good backup in the league at some point.
He's a ball
He's got
player.
the height. He's got the skills.
Oh, the problem? They all then move on to other programs.
Yeah.
You know, like North Texas had one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country. That young man will be playing somewhere else.
Yeah.
Cal has a stud quarterback. That young man might be playing somewhere else.
It's just like the Chambliss kid from Ole Miss. They pick him from like a Division II program.
They took him from a Division II program.
Yeah, but that's another thing that I think is good about the whole transfer portal is that kids that may have been looked over in high school or maybe even on a big college football team, they transfer somewhere else. They do well, or if they were looked over, they go Division II, and all of a sudden they show up and are able to compete at the highest levels against the best talent in the country.
I mean, it was different when you had a Baker Mayfield that won the Heisman and everyone was talking about, wow, that's one of the first Heisman winners where he's played at two different programs because he started at Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't give him a scholarship after he started as a freshman.
Yeah.
He goes to OU and wins the Heisman. Now that's regular. Your Heisman finalists in Diego Pavia and Fernando Mendoza, in my mind, those are going to be 1 and 2 for this thing.
Yeah.
Remember, they were both playing at other programs just a couple of years ago.
Do you think Pavia has won?
I think if you just go by numbers, he's had tremendous output. But again, Fernando Mendoza has all the big highlight plays.
See, that's what I was
That
thinking.
throw that he had in the Big Ten title game to ice that thing, that was nails. And he's more than likely a top 10 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, so that kind of tells you where everything is. But who else do you think gets invited? Because I think what is 3 or 4 usually.
Yeah, I think Love, the running back from Notre Dame, probably deserves an invite.
Is he going to show up? Is he going to be mad and take his ball and go home?
Yeah, to get that announcement from Notre Dame that, well, we're not going to take part in bowl season.
Take our ball and go
Well,
home.
listen, you're giving away practice time.
That's the first thing that hit me.
First things first.
Kirby Smart's talked about that a million times.
If you're taking part in bowl season, you have additional practices. So now they're not going to. Okay, if that's the way you want to do it. But Notre Dame decided. Would it be better if they were in? 100%. Absolutely.
And do they? Would I take them over either one of the Group of 5 teams?
Yes.
100%.
But that's why them's lawsuits.
That's right.
And that's why, as the independent, listen, they've had the benefit of getting in years past.
Absolutely they have.
I
don't feel sorry for them.
No, they've gotten torn up before. Remember, beating Georgia last year when they did, that was their first playoff win. And obviously, getting Indiana at home. But every single time they've been part of this in the last 20 years, it's typically getting blown out in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I went back and looked at their schedule, unless I missed something.
You lost to the 2 playoff teams.
Right. They lost the 2 playoff teams that they played against. They lost. Everybody else was a cakewalk on their schedule. They play freaking Navy, dude, and I love Navy. I just talked about watching Army Navy every year. I love it. I love the United States Navy. I love the Naval Academy. I'm always going to cheer for Go Navy. Dude, that's on your schedule. I think Army is too, if I'm not mistaken.
Typically, they have the independents.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Don't tell me how great how do I know Notre Dame's great? The two teams they lost to are good. Everybody else sucks.
And again, both of them were nail biters.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they got blown out by Miami.
No.
And A&M, that matchup early in the year was a great game, if you remember
That's not a good
that.
look, dude.
But when you lose, when the resume is laid out, are they better than the group of? Are they better right now than Ole Miss? Probably. But
I'd be willing to,
here's how it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like I said, I'm like you. I don't feel that sorry for them because of just what you laid out. And it always irks me to the bone. And I think most people. Matter of fact, I just saw something you'd shared or posted talking about joining another conference.
Join a
Because we were
conference.
talking about that just right before we came on the air.
They're never going to want to. You don't want to. Part of the allure and power of Notre Dame is that they don't share TV money. It's all theirs. And they have a national television contract with NBC. So they will always have that power. Texas tried to do this years ago with the Longhorn Network.
Didn't work.
As that thing fell apart, the rest of the Big 12 started to fall apart because OU and Texas basically told the rest of the league, well, if you want us to stay here, then the other schools have to take less money and we get more. That's what blew apart that league. That's how they ended up going, well, we'll go to the SEC, we'll get our money, and the rest of y'all figure it out. Well, the Big 12 figured it out, and they end up with Texas Tech as a champion.
Yeah. And let me tell you, that's a good little Texas Tech team.
It's not a big squad. It is a good squad.
It's a good squad, though. Do they
Yeah.
have the depth to win, though? I think
No one has depth. I would firmly believe that they can be amongst the Final Four teams in the end of this thing. But eventually, I do believe that the size and strength and the physicality factor starts to wear on you because, again, no one's scoring 40 points in these matchups once we get late in the year.
It is a slugfest.
It's a slugfest now.
Just beating each other.
Ohio State was running through people, and they have a great defense. They made
maybe the couple best wide receivers in college football, too.
Outstanding. They have so many good players. Their defense, to talk about they have 4 first-round picks. Yeah, they do. They have 4 first-round picks on that defense. They're as good as what Georgia was several years ago. And yet, they still lost a 13-10 ball game because they couldn't kick a field goal.
Yeah. Ohio State has had struggles with that.
It happened here. Happened here a few years ago.
Against the Dogs.
Stroke of midnight,
Yeah,
January 1.
That's right. Boom. Dude, I've never celebrated so hard in my life from this field goal.
We were in the aisle. I was sitting.
You were there?
I was sitting with my friends.
That's
cool. I had my friend Brian Hoyt and my friend Matt Chernoff, who is host Afternoon Drive at our sister station down the hall, and we're all high-fiving each other. And then there's this moment of, oh, by the way, it's New Year's.
Yeah.
Like we're all looking at each other like, it happened almost at the exact moment when Ohio State's kicker went wide left to miss that. Georgia moves on into whooping TCU's butt for the national championship. But yeah, that was a cool moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to get the rest of this holiday season because now national championship until January 19th.
Yeah. So
we got another 30 days of this stuff.
Dude, and I'm sure on that night, the stroke of midnight, y'all look like the booth and when Mike Bobo scores. Have you seen those videos lately?
I have not.
So it's just somebody has recapped them. I saw where our friend and I guess you'd call him a coworker. He comes in. Matt Stinchcomb had shared some of them.
Sure.
And it's just Bobo getting fired up. Like I don't know what changed. I don't know if he's always been that way or finally, they just have cameras on those booths now. And Bobo's so laid back and even keeled, but man, when they score a bunch, he gets fired up and he's jumping around and high-fiving people like he just won the lottery.
All right, I'm going to show you the shot that I had. So that's where I was sitting.
Okay, on the opposite side.
So I am on the Georgia end zone point.
Yeah.
So by the time they line up for that kick, we are basically sitting behind the kicker.
Yeah.
So we have like this great
view.
right-on view of what's going to happen. And so if you look, can you see what time it says on the top of my phone?
Yeah, 12:01.
12:01, and there's Brian Hoyt crying his eyes out in the stands.
That's right.
And that's
so good.
12:17. We're still in the stands, like still partying, celebrating, and everything else.
It looked like y'all didn't miss a
12:01
trip to the beer stand.
No, that was flowing quite a bit. The cheeks were quite pink.
Yes, I'm sure they were. God, just is the best, man.
It's fun time of year.
There's just nothing better than college football.
And you better enjoy the morning extra because we got a little bit more than a week to go,
buddy. And then it's going to be
the ship is in port. We're in dry dock.
The boy's going to be on Liberty. It ain't going to be long. It ain't going to be long, but we're going to do our best while we're here.
Can I give you a reminder of what we endured the previous 4 years with the previous administration?
Like maybe pronunciations, and I don't know.
So I thought this was very funny when I was listening to Eric Schmidt. And Eric Schmidt had brought this up when he went and did the network shows yesterday. And he talked about, the Democrats are so clairvoyant that they know exactly what is in these drug boats. They know exactly who these people are, yet they couldn't see that Joe Biden was a vegetable.
Exactly.
He flat out said it. They could not see that he was a vegetable. Joe Biden, I think it was Friday evening, ends up doing one of those, like, I'm going to get up and give a lecture at some event. And he's trying to do the stump speech, right? You know how you ramp it up. If it was this radio show, we would have like Jure out front, and he's like, and then we're going to do some college football, and then we're going to win an election. Everybody, right? Like that's how we would do it with a crowd.
That's right.
Well, he's bringing this in for a landing, and he's going to talk about how we can get stuff done because we're this country.
We just have to get up. As long as we keep the faith, summon hope, and get back up and remember who in the hell we are. We're the United States of America. That's who we are. We're the U.S.
Suddenly we're Italian.
Amerigata? Is that what he said?
I think we're Amerigati.
Amerigati. Not only.
Amerigata.
We've gone complete gangster up in here.
Yeah, we actually became an Italian dish at the Olive Garden.
That's right.
We're Amerigata.
It comes with free breadsticks and salad, all you can eat.
I think his brain was thinking what he actually knew he couldn't say. I think there was like a GD that it all ran together in his brain. But when it came out, it was got it.
It was like some sort of soup.
There is
sort of stew.
No leg to stand on. If you're the holiday season and Aunt Peg is giving you crap about what's going on in this world and the Trump administration, just say he's not a vegetable.
That's right. And you know it, and I knew it.
And you and I from the United States of Amerigata
are going to have a
proud of this
wonderful holiday. Thank you for being at my home.
The adults are in charge, and here's what we're doing. We're doing adult things.
Speaking.
Exactly. Like speaking in front of people.
Look, I mess up things all the time. I don't think I've ever messed up the United States of America. I think I've got...
I think I got that one down.
I think I have 100% record.
I feel pretty good about that one.
Of getting that. And if I were the president, I think I would probably focus on that one, maybe not messing that one up.
And you and I speak for a living, so we mess up stuff all the time.
Oh my gosh, I'm guilty as sin.
But I don't recall that the United States of America has ever been a problem.
Well, from now on, it's the United States of Amerigata, just because it sounds cool.
There's a lot of names out there in sports that I would butcher. Like Scafellini or something.
Yeah, or whatever.
I would just skip it.
Yeah.
But never America.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
No, I'm easy on that one. America.
Amerigata.
Amerigata.
We're the United States of America.
Yes.
Hold on to that forever.
never let it go. 6 o'clock hours brought to you by...
Especially one of us messes up. United States of Amerigata.
Yeah. On anything. You mess up on anything and fire that one out. A flashback to the Afghan drone strikes are next on Extra 106.3. Good Monday morning to you.
President Trump is restoring freedom, bringing justice back to America, and restoring power to the people. And the conservative voice of Atlanta has his back and will always bring you the national and local voices you need when it matters most. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Look, we don't do weather every 6 minutes or every 10 minutes or even every 4 hours. We just, once in a while, I think Jero hit it maybe once an hour in the headlines. Tug for central heating and air conditioning. It's 41 degrees outside, and I wouldn't have to tell you that if your HVAC wasn't working. You would realize that it's really cold outside because the house would be so uncomfortable. And I would tell you to call Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning because they can fix it, they can maintain it, or they can replace it. Right now, let's talk about the replacement because they've teamed up with the folks at Carrier, just the best in the business. They are giving you a great time and a great deal to upgrade. For a limited time, up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months of 0% financing with approved credit. You get both, not just one. You don't have to choose. You get both. Brand new Carrier system, dependable, efficient, and the comfort that your family deserves. Chuck is standing by with his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. They answer the phone. They don't put you through automation, which you'll appreciate. I know I do every time I call. I've been a customer of theirs for years and years and years. Probably, I bet we're honing in on 10 years. 770-GET-HEAT is the number. CentralHeat.com is the website.
It's midnight and the phone rings. It's a loved one calling from jail. They had a little too much fun at the holiday party and got pulled over. Now what? Time to call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. A Second Chance will get your loved one home quickly. For 20 years, they've been helping folks with 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham and are available 24/7. For fast, professional, discreet services, call 404-BAILOUT. That's 404-BAILOUT or visit atlbail.com. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. We have an important announcement. We've moved to a new location to serve you better. That's right, Atlanta Safe House has moved to a new location in Alpharetta. So come check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Brands include Browning, Fort Knox, Champion, and many more. So stop by the showroom today or go to atlantasafehouse.com. And remember, at Atlanta Safe House, we don't just sell safes, we sell peace of mind.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies.
You and your buddy, you've been through a lot with each other, the ups and the downs. He's been with you every morning, noon, and night. You've traveled the world together. Heck, he was even with you on your first big date. But have you noticed he's struggling lately? Not performing on the job. He can't even stand up straight anymore. He's wanting to cry out for help, but just doesn't know how. He needs Dr. Dio and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can give him the gift of good posture this year, help him stand proud and become all he was meant to be. Now, take him by the hand, look him in the eye and say, I appreciate you, little fella, and we're going to get you some help. We're going to call 404-777-1911. We're going to visit stopmyed.com. We are going to say goodbye to erectile dysfunction forever. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. It's a hard conversation to have, but it's one worth having. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Online at stopmyed.com.
See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, December 8th. U.S. immigration officials are opening a new vetting center in Atlanta to boost national security. The facility will use advanced screening and AI to review immigration applications and identify potential threats. USCIS says the center will speed up coordination with federal agencies and strengthen public safety. A new case of chronic wasting disease, often called zombie deer disease, has been confirmed in Atkinson County in southeast Georgia. State officials say it's the 9th infected deer found in Georgia. The disease is always fatal to deer, and wildlife experts warn hunters not to consume any animal that appears to be infected. And Atlanta has been ranked the number 4 most fun city in America. A new Wallet Hub study looked at entertainment, nightlife, dining, and recreation in more than 180 cities. Atlanta scored high for festivals, restaurants, clubs, parks, and affordable activities for both residents and visitors. Today's weather mostly cloudy with a high of 51 degrees. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Eric Schmidt, Senator Eric Schmidt, was out defending Pete Hegseth. He said Democrats never wanted Pete Hegseth, and this is from his tweet. He was and is a permanent threat to Washington's status quo. They didn't defeat him in the nomination process, and they tried really hard. I saw that all behind the scenes, the craziness. He was their top target. Since then, there's been countless anonymous leaks meant to undermine him and thwart President Trump and other realists in the administration. Bogus story after bogus story. It's the same tired playbook. Their next act, ring them up for war crimes. Yes, war crimes. They intend to prosecute their political opponents. They've lost it. Congressional Democrats are fueled by a radicalized left, and they're hell-bent on power. The rules do not matter to them. Sound familiar? Russiagate, Dem censorship, COVID tyranny, Democrat weaponization of the DOJ. To my Republican counterparts, understand this reality and never bend a knee to this BS. He spells it out. Fight back. The liberal media will never love you. Rand Paul, just in case you're paying attention, maybe one of those times that you listened to your counterpart there in the Senate.
I do believe that if I can just get everyone calling them the anti-American party,
I think it's genius.
We will be so much better off because
it's self-explanatory.
Whatever your view of America is, no, that's what they're against. Whatever it is, you just name it. Are you in favor of this? They're not.
Yeah.
Do you believe in this? They don't. And we could call it lower taxes. No.
Nope.
Freedom. No. You big into censorship? No, they are.
Yes, they are.
and it's what it is every single time. So, on the issue of Pete Hegseth, remember this is a group of people that actually took, and both sides of the establishment were doing this, but most notably, obviously, the anti-American party. They were taking a man's tattoo and trying to turn that into, well, that's a form of racism. Whereas a guy with an actual Nazi tattoo, they were like, oh no, he was just drunk.
Yeah,
it's like, how do you keep taking off your shirt to where people notice you have a Nazi tattoo?
And then to stand behind it. They're like, nah.
And to then see.
No big deal.
You know that Pete Hegseth, he has We the People on his arm. Okay. Seems like a pretty generally American tattoo, right? You might be a little bit anti-American if you don't care for it.
Those Christian crosses that he has.
Yes.
They despise those too.
Couldn't stand it. They were like, what kind of a evil Nazi symbol is that? Well, right. It's not.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, if you just waited a month, you would have seen them all over the program for Jimmy Carter.
That's right. Absolutely.
It's the same
right.
place.
That's exactly right.
But I would like, can we flash back?
I would love to.
Can we go back in time? Let's go back to 2021. In 2021, as we are in August, you had the Biden administration that was looking for a victory. They were looking at the 20-year anniversary of the war on terror, and they made it a point. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of Afghanistan. And they were told by the military officials that we have a plan. We're going to follow the plan. No. Get out of there. And so what did we have? We had an abrupt withdrawal. We had total chaos. We had Afghan civilians falling off of airplanes at thousands of feet in the air and splattering on the ground. We had the Taliban taking our military equipment, not just parading it in front of us. Some of the videos when they were trying to fly our helicopters, that was funny.
Except for you paid for it.
Except we all were the ones who paid for this stuff. And most notably, most importantly, 13 Americans dead at Abbey Gate with that explosion from a terrorist we had to let go. We already had that person they were already secured. We're like, well, let's turn them loose. Okay. Turns out they're a suicide bomber. That's their jam. So all that occurs. And so the Biden administration is looking at it as we look terrible. We look like we messed up in Afghanistan. Well, let's have a show of force. That always works, right? They decided to drone strike what ended up being a family. 7 kids end up dying in the strike. And of course it was, well, we thought it was Al-Qaeda. We thought it was Taliban oriented. What kind of a mistake did you make that got 7 children killed? Now remember, these are the same people that are telling me about the death of narco-terrorists, and that's such a bad idea. John Kirby, as we now get removed from this period in 2021, And now that we have congressional hearings on this, how are 7 children dead in a drone strike in Afghanistan? How has this occurred where you killed a family? And John Kirby goes on MSNBC at the time, PMS now, and this is how he explained it.
How does it strike you that no one is held accountable? Because I know how it strikes a lot of people around the world that you can get away with murder and nobody's punished for it.
I do understand that. We appreciate that. Not everybody is going to support this decision. What I can tell you is we looked at this thing very, very comprehensively. And again, we acknowledge that there were procedural breakdowns. Processes were not executed the way they should have been. But it doesn't necessarily indicate that an individual or individuals have to be held to account for that. But look,
is there discipline inside the Pentagon at all? I mean, maybe there are no charges brought up, but is anyone demoted or disciplined for what happened that day?
What we are going to do, there's not going to be individual discipline as a result of this, Willie. But what we are going to do is learn from this, and we're going to enact and improve our procedures and our processes to try to make sure this doesn't happen again.
So let me get this straight. I'm hearing from the anti-American party that there is a problem with killing narco-terrorists at sea, which, by the way, have no rights as terrorists. They're not enemy combatants. They're not uniformed personnel of any sort of country. So nothing from a law standpoint applies to them. But when you actually kill children in a theater, 7 of them, that's not murder? Because...
No, they're learning from it.
Because as he called it, it's like, that's murder.
Yeah, they're learning from it, though.
That's murder. Drone striking a narco-terrorist boat at sea is not murder, nor is it a war crime. You know what is? Killing 7 children.
By the letter of the law.
Yes, by the very definition. And as John Kirby pointed out, was there anyone who's going to be reprimanded for this? Well, no, there will be no.
We're going to learn from it.
We're going to learn. Okay. The anti-American party is going to learn from drone striking and killing 7 children.
It's because they have no interest in what's best for the military. They have no interest in...
So as you were reading from Eric Schmidt, spare me your BS.
That's exactly right, dude.
You have no interest in this stuff.
Of course not. They have no interest. We're going to learn from it. Did they learn from it? No. They have no idea. And that's the thing. They didn't care to begin with. You know how I know they didn't care? Look at the way they left Afghanistan. There was a plan in place that Donald Trump had already laid out because the plan is already made. We're going to get out of this never-ending war.
And here is how we'll be leaving this theater, and the violence actually was down to, I mean, you just look at the amount of Americans dead, it was non-existent.
It was minimal, very minimal. But they couldn't, because of their TDS, they could not use the plan that Donald Trump had laid out because that is faulty. That's no good. That was put in place by a dictator.
Instead, we need a political victory. Let's just get out of Afghanistan before we're ready to.
And it turned into a complete failure, as expected. Our military at the highest levels, even under the Biden administration, were like, yeah, we didn't have a plan.
So as we're adding up all of the crazy scenarios of what we dealt with during that time period, I know we're talking about ridiculous scenarios. It's, okay, Joe Biden fell off a bike. Okay, not a ridiculous scenario, but it looks silly. You actually had a woman as a White House aide dressed in a bunny suit whose job it was to keep Joe Biden from talking to the media. You had an administration that for no good reason decided to pull out of Afghanistan early because they wanted a political victory that ended up getting 13 Americans killed.
It was everything but a political victory.
And their response to it in a show of strength was to drone strike a vehicle that ended up killing 7 kids. Yeah, the bunny suit goes right along with it.
Yeah, it tracks.
Pretty much that's what it is. I mean, they actually had at one point somebody that they assigned a 4-star status to that was a man who thought he was a woman, and he was there to tell you about his health. They actually had somebody who was stealing women's clothes from the airport to dress up in them.
Working in the administration.
They actually had men having sex in Senate quarters.
And filming it.
There was actually a transgender woman who decided to expose his or her breasts on the White House lawn.
Was a guest of honor. I mean, that's what they did with regular.
How many do you want to go through?
Dude, but that's what I'm saying. The list is so long. It's ridiculous. And the American people, at least 50% of them said, yeah, that's exactly what, and voted for it again. But knowing Kamala Harris was going to be the next person in line.
I'm glad there were 7 swing states.
Going to do the exact same thing. Nothing would have changed.
Because the sane places, at least the ones that are remaining, all said, no, we're done with this stuff. This is all going away.
My prayer is that those same people that voted the way they did understand what's at stake during these midterms.
And by the way, John Kirby is the same guy who's telling you no one's going to face discipline for the murder of 7 children. But, Donald Trump signed his paperwork over here in the wrong way. And so, I think that's 34 felonies. And oh, by the way, I think he overinflated his value over here. So let's make sure we take about $500 million off him.
Maybe charge him with a few things. See if we can
see if we can do something about it. But not us. No, we're going to improve our policies and our procedures.
We're going to learn from it.
We're going to learn from it.
You didn't learn nothing. Actually, yeah, you did learn a lot. You learned what you could get away with.
This is why you can't let these people ever have power. That's why, once again, proud of you, Tennessee.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for turning out and making it a point to hold on to that seat and to smash that person. And the most that the liberals are able to do, the anti-American party, is, well, we were significantly closer. Well, Donald Trump wasn't on the ballot. And by the way, Marsha Blackburn won by 1% there. This was a 9% margin. That's an improvement. Now, is it ever going to be Trump? No, because Trump turns people out. But if you're winning that seat by 9-10%, you're doing just fine. Thank you, Nashville and Tennessee, for doing that.
Davidson County, do better.
Yes.
Y'all failed. Y'all knew what the mission was, and you completely failed. If you look at how everything voted, out in Williamson County, blood red. As you get closer into Nashville downtown, it gets bluer and bluer and bluer. And Davidson County failed. You failed. You failed the mission. Get it right. Do better. Do better. Thank you for the rest of everybody.
The rest of y'all.
Y'all did all right.
Looking good out there.
Y'all did.
I will see you in 10 days.
That's right.
Gonna find myself in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, because y'all headed up there.
Gonna be heading over there for a volleyball tournament. Can't wait. I love going to Tennessee. I love the people there. I love the atmosphere.
Dude, I grew up in that northwest corner of Georgia, 18 minutes from Chattanooga. Dude, they're good folks in Tennessee. A bunch of hillbillies. but I love the kindest folks you'll ever meet in your life. Give you the shirt off your back, and if they're like my cousin Curtis, they'll steal it off somebody else's back and put it on yours.
I do the same thing when I'm in Tennessee. But that one's not like, I am one of you. I'm like, I am one of you.
No, you haven't. I'm one of y'all.
I'm one of y'all.
That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. And they will welcome you with open arms. Unless you say you're anti-American.
No. I will point out, you got those anti-Americans around.
And then they're liable to cut your tires.
We're going to make sure we vote them out of here.
That's right.
Anti-American party, we can't deal with this.
Davidson County, do better. Heavens. Disappointment. You're a disappointment. Tug and Los until 10. This is the Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3. Let's see if you can follow this logic here in this next conversation. If you're not on a drug boat, you cannot die on a drug boat. Xtra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, December 8th. The college football playoffs are now set. The SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs are officially the 3 seed overall, and they will enjoy a bye week before awaiting the winner of Tulane and Ole Miss. Georgia will next play on January 1st in the Sugar Bowl. Playoff snub Notre Dame, they've decided to not take part in bowl season this year. The Falcons, they're now just 4-9 after a 37-9 loss at home to the Seattle Seahawks. And Monday Night Football ends Week 14 in the NFL tonight as the 8-4 Philadelphia Eagles are in Los Angeles to play the 8-4 Chargers. That kickoff is set for 8:15. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
With the holiday season upon us, convenience is king. At RBM of Atlanta, we embody this definition. Convenience is our middle name. Meet the RBM of Atlanta Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for those services. And once the services have been complete, we'll bring your Mercedes-Benz back to you. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2025 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. And we're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor at RBM of Atlanta for details.
Ain't nothing beats the cozy comfort of a warm fireplace on a cool Georgia night. Tug here for Chimney Solutions. But before you light that fire, make sure the chimney's clean, safe, and ready with my friends at Chimney Solutions. Atlanta's trusted chimney experts for over 25 years. Did you know that a dirty and damaged chimney could lead to dangerous carbon monoxide leaks or even chimney fires? Don't take that chance. Chimney Solutions certified technicians use state-of-the-art equipment to ensure your home and family are protected. They also specialize in gas log conversion, fireplace remodeling, and energy-efficient chimney caps that keep pests and rain out and heat in. From cozy cottages to luxurious homes, thousands of Atlantans trust Chimney Solutions to keep the heart of their home burning bright. Visit chimneysolutions.com to read actual customer testimonials. Chimneysolutions.com. Chimney Solutions, keeping Georgia homes safe, warm, and beautiful for over 25 years.
Atlanta Braves single game tickets for the 2026 season are now on sale. Get your tickets for some exciting matchups next season and check out some fan favorite ticket packages like Hello Kitty, SpongeBob, Snoopy, and Father's Day Catch on the Field. Plus, snag the first giveaway of the season, the Drake Baldwin Rookie of the Year bobblehead on March 31st, presented by Coca-Cola. Visit Braves.com/promos to get your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball, we are Braves country.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
I'm Ashley DeBorkin with a Fox Celebrity Profile with Paul Mescal and Jessie Buckley of Hamnet. Inspired by the book of the same name, the film is about William Shakespeare and his wife Agnes and how the tragic loss of their son may have inspired the classic Hamlet. As not much is known about Shakespeare beyond his work, they shared what they relied on to find the characters.
The plays and the sonnets and how he was communicating about the world. And then you kind of throw all of it, even that work out, and you start filming and you just look at Jessie and then away you go.
My love and curiosity of the women in my life and that capacity to love, the bravery of loving at all when you know that you might lose something.
Buckley now has a new perspective on Shakespeare's plays.
I've got the information of who he might have been behind the plays, what his world might have been before the plays. And I guess if I do another Shakespeare play in the future, I'll have an understanding of maybe who Lady Macbeth was created from.
Ashley DeBorkin, Fox News.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Tug and Los until 10.
You just had the eureka moment, too, huh?
When the bell goes off in your head and you're like, oh, that's it.
We'll get into it in the 7 o'clock hour, but I got into a little something on X last night, but I left it alone because I wasn't going to burn that for a audience at like 9 o'clock on a Sunday night.
No, not when we can talk about it with you.
And they won't talk about it down the hall.
No, they will not.
Your local politics is coming into play here.
It is. It's to do with football, and that's all I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
It's to do with football.
Let's start right there.
And we'll talk about that at 7 here on Extra 106.3 Tug and Los until
Kirk
10.
Cousins for city council.
With
you nailed it.
It's a strong amount of politics.
Heavy politics.
It's why my friend...
He's not going to be a quarterback any longer.
It's why my friends down the hall won't touch it.
They would never. But
I'm allowed to. Isn't that the awesome part?
Yeah, dude,
say whatever I want.
On Extra, we are all about free speech and
free speech friendly
exchange of ideas. The ones that you like, the ones you don't like, whatever, and everything in between. But I think it'll be a conversation that you'll want to hear what Los has to say at 7. Right now, it's very easy to understand for me. If you're not on a drug boat, you're not going to get blown up on a drug boat.
Really?
Seems easy. Seems super easy to understand.
It's kind of like the idea when 52% of the murders that we have in this country fall into 2 counties. If I'm not in Chicago, I have a significantly better chance of not being shot.
Yes, Los, that's it. That's the logic that we're going after. But on CNN, Abby Phillips was like, well, why can't we just arrest these people and try the terrorists on the drug boats? Sweet girl, we've been doing that for 40 years, and we have failed miserably. It's not worked at all. And I don't understand, Los, how this Canadian man gets it and she doesn't.
Historically, as Adam has pointed out, the Coast Guard doesn't do that. They board the ships, they interdict the drugs, they collect the evidence, and in many cases, they try these individuals and bring them to justice. Why can't we do that now?
So what I've learned from all this, and this is not the first time this has happened, don't get on a boat with drugs in it. You get blown up. That's what I've learned from this. And I think at the end of the day, the administration was elected to stop the inflow of drugs that are killing Americans. I think they're doing that. We're having a very healthy debate about it. But basically, no one's debating whether we're drugs on this boat. Venezuela's sending drugs out everywhere. And where it gets transferred to what boat and when, who knows? But if you're on a boat full of drugs, you get blown up. And I think this may have some drug dealers saying, maybe I want to slow down on the boat drug stuff, which is really what the mandate of the government is. The double tap system started in Afghanistan years ago when you would paint a terrorist with a laser. They don't use snipers with bullets anymore. They paint them and they send very precise ordnance in, kill them right in a room, then they wait 20 minutes and nuke the whole place again. No one was complaining when that happened. They did that thousands of times.
There we go. He lays it out so succinctly. He was like, oh, yeah, we're keeping drugs out. Don't get a drug boat, you don't blow up. And they've been doing this same process everywhere the military has struck, and nobody said a word. Now, because you think it's politically expedient, you're like, hey, well, we shouldn't do that anymore.
Who comes across as the adult in the room and who comes across as the emotional child? Well, why don't we do this? Well, why don't we whatever? Because we don't do that with terrorists. Now, one of the other funny things I read yesterday, and this was, I believe, was a CNN story, as you're trying to divert the narrative as much as you can so that, the Aunt Pegs of the world have that moment of going, see, I read it on CNN. They said that the drug boats aren't even headed to America.
Right.
Yeah, you moron. It's like the first step in the supply chain.
That's right.
The way this game has been played forever, ad nauseum, and why it's gotten so dangerous when we were having people that are overdosing on fentanyl to the tune of 100 to 120,000 lives lost a year for years, is China would send the fentanyl into Mexico. Mexico, as part of this drug ring, would cut the fentanyl with the drugs and then get it into the United States. You're taking apart the supply chain. And why do you think we were striking deals with China to make sure, stop sending that crap? They started sending it through India, and then India was sending it over to Mexico. This is all about stop this portion here of the fentanyl and the drug supply. while also pointing out we're going to be the dominant power in this hemisphere and let everyone know that you are not to operate around here.
Easy to understand.
Not hard to understand.
It's really straightforward.
It's not but this is an argument amongst children. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we blowing stuff up?
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Because that's what we do well.
Yeah. What I have said, I am so thankful that Tug Cowart at 6:51, now 52, on this Monday, I said, we don't do a lot of good things in this country in terms of stuff we do well. Can't get you your postal service. Can't put broadband internet all around the country.
Nope.
Can't spend the incredible amount of money to then have EV charging stations. We can't build a library in Chicago. There's a whole lot of things we don't do, but you know what we do well? We blow S up.
And it's on display on your TV.
And we are pros.
Night. I mean, we are pros.
I mean, we're Hall of Fame at blowing stuff up. Like, Israel looks at us and they're like, oh, pretty good.
Man, we could probably learn from y'all a little bit.
We just got pagers that explode. You guys, y'all got big-time ordnance.
They've done well, though. That pager thing.
Yeah, they're AAA.
Yeah, that's
all right, this is Hall of Fame over here.
That's next level there. I mean, because that wasn't just, hey, we're going to blow it up and bam, it's done. This is like months and months and months and months. I'm not trying to derail us, but that was so impressive to everyone that paid attention.
Also, the fact that you now have Democrats, the anti-American party, that are now trying to tell me how much it costs each time we blow one of these things up. Oh, now you've got fiscal responsibility?
Yeah, right.
Oh, now you're concerned about, well, they launched $1 million missile to take out a $20,000 boat. It's about what's on it.
That's right.
How much money? Yes, worth $50 million.
Yeah, so don't
put that in the bottom of the ocean. Watch how they stop.
Absolutely. And you're starting, and apparently that's, reading this weekend, that's already starting to happen. The dial back on drug boats. Oh, imagine that.
I wonder why. So strange.
That's right. Again,
is it because they're suddenly exploding in the middle of international waters?
And people are like, hey, maybe, you know what? I don't think I'm going to take this run. I'm going to wait till things settle down a little bit.
There's a carrier group out there.
I'll get back in when they go.
I'm going to hang out over here.
When they are not there in the backdrop. I think then maybe I'll give it a try.
Let's just slow this thing. It's not like America's suddenly going to have a lack of urge for drugs.
No.
All right? But
it'd be nice if we could get that.
This is all about the influence that we get to have on this country, while also letting, as you point out, the Chinese and the Russians know you will not be operating in this hemisphere.
It is sending a very big message. But to the Mexicans, too. Don't forget. But, dude, I saw a poll this weekend that was, I don't know, it shocked me. It said 51% of Mexicans in Mexico, Mexico City, 51% are in favor of Donald Trump sending troops to them.
That hasn't changed.
Inside their country.
That's been pretty typical. That's the amount of corruption. If you ever want to know how sad the situation is, if you ever want a documentary that'll kind of just enlighten you, watch Cartel Land. Cartel Land is a documentary, probably about 10 years old, and it just gives you this sad feeling of it doesn't matter who comes into Mexico outside of us. When they start to say, hey, we're going to clean up the cartels out of this area, out of this state, all that happens is another cartel rolls in, kills that cartel off, but acts like they're helping the people, and then they just install the next cartel.
The exact same thing. Yeah,
that's all it is.
It's rinse and repeat.
All it is.
Goodness gracious! I was surprised by that number. Like, physically, 51%, the majority. It's very slim, but the majority of Mexicans want the United States, wants Donald Trump to send our military to clean up their mess.
They just want people that aren't on cartel payroll.
Right. They just want
their president.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Claudia Sheinbaum.
You know why she's not dead?
Bought and paid for. Bought and paid for. Otherwise, she would be dead, just like Los was saying. What you voted for in regards to immigration versus what a judge said you're allowed to have. Next at Extra 106.3.
Extra 106.3 is proud to be a community station that shares your values. This is your station, talking about issues and stories that are most important to you and your family. Stream us live on our all-new app in crystal clear HD and always live on your radio at 106.3 FM.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
You know, Los, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the Honest Car Guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I mean, it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. You know, on a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000. But it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%. Well, really, it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
Okay, who just opened your Obamacare or Marketplace renewal and almost fell off the chair? Hey, 35%, and it's not even any better? You're not crazy. They keep jacking the premium and giving you less. I don't know about this stuff, but I know who does. I go to Steven, the health insurance doctor. I send people there because he's been doing this 16 years. He wins awards for this stuff. He helps the self-employed, 1099, small business owners, the people actually paying for their own insurance. You bet you're going to get corporate-style coverage, nationwide PPO. How about lower zero deductibles, plans that pay you cash benefits when you use them? And he does it all around the year round there because, you know what, he's independent. He's got multiple carriers to quote. A lot of you are going to see that premium go right down instead of up. And in some cases, saving us 60% over that renewal number. He works for you, not Washington. Here's the number, 678-523-0759. 678-523-0759. Or go to healthinsurancedoctor.net. It's Steven, not a call center. Your plan, your savings, and tell him the Kibber sent you.
Join Southern Thunder Barbecue School for hands-on learning, standing shoulder to shoulder with the pros. It's a day-long cooking school experience with personalized training from award-winning barbecue grand champions. This makes a fantastic holiday gift you can purchase online at southernthunderbbq.com.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A community in Utah who welcomed a young girl after she spent almost 1,000 days in the hospital makes today's Dean's List. The streets of Saratoga Springs were lit up with pink and purple, Sienna Barton's favorite colors, as the 5-year-old finally came home after nearly 3 years in the hospital. Sienna was born with only half a heart and had to go through so many surgeries along with being on a mechanical heart for more than 2 years as she waited patiently for a life-saving transplant. Her family finally got the good news this past summer with a match from Texas. Sienna's father says his daughter is alive today because a family chose donation. It was a long recovery, but on day 975, they were finally able to take their daughter home. The community supported them every day, from raising thousands of dollars for her medical travel and offering prayers, love, and support. Sienna's mom says she has found a constant source of strength from her neighbors and will never forget it. Janice Dean, Fox News.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Not ready to make nice. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump says he's a little disappointed that Ukraine's President Zelensky hasn't even read a U.S.-backed proposal for peace with Russia and that he's just not ready for it. Zelensky's in London today to meet with leaders from the UK, France, and Germany.
Volodymyr Zelensky's European allies want to put Ukraine in a stronger position as peace efforts continue. He says talks will focus on security, air defense, and long-term funding for the Ukrainian war effort. European leaders fear Russia coming out of this conflict in too strong a position, and because they suspect Moscow won't be satisfied by a ceasefire, want any agreement to be backed by security guarantees from Washington as well as their own countries. US and Ukrainian negotiators completed 3 days of talks on Saturday aimed at narrowing gaps on the Trump administration's peace plan. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee wants the public to see video of a second strike on a drug smuggling boat in September, killing 2 survivors of the initial strike.
It was deeply disturbing. It did not appear that these 2 survivors were in any position to continue the fight.
Washington State House Democrat Adam Smith on ABC's This Week. Arkansas Republican Tom Cotton chairs the Senate Intelligence Committee.
It was entirely appropriate to strike the boat again to make sure that its cargo was destroyed. It is in no way violation of the law of war.
He was on NBC's Meet the Press. The Supreme Court today takes up a challenge to President Trump firing Federal Trade Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter.
The Trump administration argues Article 2 of the Constitution gives him the power to remove executive branch officers. They want the court to reconsider the legality of the removal clause, arguing the power to control executive officers naturally includes the ability to remove them at will.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The court ruled in 1935 that FTC commissioners can only be fired for cause. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes. Heroes like Josh Bischoff. Josh began his firefighting career as a volunteer and ultimately became CAL FIRE's Assistant Chief of Tactical Air Operations until tragedy struck and he was killed in a helicopter collision while fighting a California wildfire. He leaves behind his wife Cheryl and their 2 children, Derek and Juliana. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation paid the Bischoff family's mortgage. Support heroes like Josh and their families. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Coffee, keys, and extra 106.3. That's how I get to work and home.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. We were just talking some football, and we're going to get to the big story in a minute, but I just told Los it's impossible not to like Fernando Mendoza. It's impossible.
Yes, the quarterback of Indiana who transferred there and is actually the starting quarterback, and his brother that helped recruit him there is the backup quarterback.
Yeah. Just a sweet...
Younger brother, by the way.
Just a sweet family, from what I can tell, and a great kid. And then we learned something interesting about your wife and her dislike of a particular Alabama football player.
She's liked other Alabama quarterbacks or had like a healthy respect.
Yeah.
Like you bring
Most
up...
of us, yeah. Same way.
I don't know if you saw on game day when they had Nick Saban on stage, and they end up bringing out the 2 coaches. So Kirby Smart comes out, Kalen DeBoer comes out, and they start joking around, and they start talking about what you have to do to win this game.
And he was like, Kirby's like, for you.
Bring in your backup quarterback. Bring in your backup quarterback.
Yeah.
During those years, like my wife had a great amount of respect for Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa.
Hard not to.
The current Alabama quarterback, for some reason, has rubbed her the wrong way.
I just can't imagine why.
I don't know if it's just... It seems like a sweet kid.
Yeah, he's like a Bible school student, you know? He just...
Seems like a nice family.
Just the sweetest folks. Yeah, his dad's a college football coach. Is at Tennessee Tech, maybe?
I think it's Tennessee Tech, and his brother is like a junior stud who's put up a bunch of numbers in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah,
so.
It's just so funny. But she's just having
Simpson
none
is
of
just
Ty
not
Simpson. I just can't
her
imagine
cup of tea for some reason. Loves Fernando Mendoza. She's like, that's a great kid.
Yeah, and Ty Simpson's a great kid from all I can tell.
I don't know what it is. You know how there's some people that they have hateable faces?
That one's...
I don't buy into it, but that's hers.
She's ready to punch him out.
I don't know why.
Punchable face.
Because I brought up with her, I was like, if you're looking for punchable faces, like Mac Jones was like first and foremost, if you wanted to hate an Alabama quarterback.
Yeah.
Not Ty Simpson.
No, he's the sweetest kid in the world.
That's hers.
I love it.
It's her cross to bear.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Just isn't it funny how people pick out someone they don't like, and for like the most random of reasons, he's got a punchable face,
like they're orange.
Yeah, or like they're orange. Yes, kind of like that too. Yes.
At least you can make the argument about how somebody might affect you on a daily basis, or at least your mental health. I don't know why anything with Ty Simpson, outside of just the loss 10 weeks ago, but
right,
whatever, it's over.
Yeah, it's over, done and over.
You got it back.
Yeah, and
you got the belt.
That's right, absolutely. You lost by 3 points in a game that didn't look like you were going to be participating in it at all. Come back, only lose by 3 points, and then rematch, you beat them by 3 touchdowns. So it's a pretty good comeback story.
You win. You're good.
I like it. Now the Falcons, on the other hand.
Oh,
buddy.
Good grief.
All right.
Let me tell you.
Let me just say this before we get into our JD Vance talk.
Here's our disclaimer.
I just wanted to try and explain to people last night who are so frustrated with the coach, who's now 23 games under 500 for his career, who has the worst record of any coach with 3 years of experience in the league, and Terry Fontenot, who did trade a first-round pick away. Now, the player is a player. Like, Pierce is going to be a player.
Yeah, right.
But you don't have a first-round pick and you're 4-9.
Mm-hmm.
You also gave $100 million to Kirk Cousins. That's not going well either.
No, that's a bad choice there.
First and foremost, Arthur Blank. You can say he's a businessman. What I will point out to you is I don't know anyone else who's raised money for BLM or the Democrat Party or is such a big Obama supporter or anything leftist in this town as much as Arthur Blank.
Yeah.
He's the only owner in the league who currently has a black GM and a black head coach. You think he wants to be that guy who's firing these people?
Mm-mm. You've got to accept
because his politics is first and foremost.
That's right.
That's what it's
Like
been. That's what we've seen in like the last decade out of him.
But every leftist though, right?
Yes.
I mean,
First and foremost,
that's their MO. Yeah.
This is the most important thing to me.
My Aunt Peg, same way.
So when people are like, why don't they get rid of them? Because he doesn't want to be. He's worried about, am I going to be ostracized from D.C. or from upper crust leftist Atlanta?
Or country club? They won't talk to me.
How am I going to explain that I'm the only owner who has a black general manager and a black head coach, and I fired them both?
Yeah. Because I was being praised for it to begin with.
I know he won't do it, but there's the old phrase, winning solves everything. Wouldn't matter what color it is, somebody is if you get them in here and they win.
Doesn't matter. But what I'm pointing out is the politics here does matter.
Yeah, that's what's going to
The circles that Arthur Blank runs in matters. That's why. Everybody else in the league, I love the fact that there are people in this league where, like, for instance, that game with the Steelers the other day was really fun when they were playing Baltimore. And I'm watching Mike Tomlin do his thing, and I'm thinking to myself, that guy's never had a losing record. Worst he's ever been in the league is 8-8. Mm-hmm. And then when we went to 17 games, he's still 9-8. He's never had a losing record as a coach.
Yep.
That's why he's been coaching that team, and he'll coach that team for 30 years.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers defended him.
And at no point do I ever go, oh, Mike Tomlin, black coach. I'm like, no, Mike Tomlin, damn good coach.
Yeah, exactly. He's always been good. And always will be.
That's not the case here.
No, it's very different in Atlanta.
Like Clown Show.
Yes.
Big shoes. And again, this isn't just like one time. This is now a coach that has done it in two different places doing the same thing. Yeah. And yet, why does he still have a job this morning?
Politics.
Why is the general manager sitting where he is? Politics. And down the hall will never say that.
No.
Because they'd be too afraid to do it.
They couldn't. They'd never be able to. You know what you voted for. I know what you voted for. I'm not sure that these judges care what you voted for because I see them taking your decisions and throwing them out the window. J.D. Vance, he talked about this. What the American people voted for and what some leftist judges, when it comes to immigration, say that you're allowed to have.
You cannot have a country where the American people keep on electing immigration enforcement and the courts tell the American people they're not allowed to have what they voted for. And that's where we are right now. We're going to keep working it through the immigration court process, through the Supreme Court as much as possible. And look, success to me is not so much a number, though obviously I'd love to see the gross majority of the illegal immigrants who came in under Biden deported. That actually is a secondary metric of success. Success to me is that we have established a set of rules and principles that the courts are comfortable with and that we have the infrastructure to do that allows us to deport large numbers of illegal aliens when large numbers of illegal aliens come into the country. That to me is real success.
I love that. He's like, dude, do I want it to be 20 million? Sure. But is that possible? I don't know. Not in the current situation with the courts. We've got to get to the point where the courts are allowing the American people to get exactly what they voted for, because right now we are up against the wall not getting it in a lot of situations.
For every million, hell, for every 100,000, you're seeing the effect that it's having. So if the administration thinks they can get 3 million out by this year and then accelerate that with more ICE agents, with more Homeland Security work, let's say you get to 5 million next year. Suddenly you send 8 million out of here. And what are we seeing? There's a shift going on. You know, you'll have, and we'll point out some of this audio in just a few minutes, but you have a shift where suddenly, oh, look, rents are at a 4-month low.
That's right.
Home prices in some of these communities, homes are suddenly becoming more affordable. There's suddenly more jobs. People are like, why does the unemployment rate tick up? Because there's more illegals that are heading out of here.
And we will play a piece of audio probably in the 8 o'clock hour. It is a guy that runs a small construction company. And he said, because of what's happening with deportations, I'm getting more work now and getting paid for it.
Yes.
And he was like, you don't understand. You may not, from the outside looking in, you may not get it. Me, as a small construction business owner, I can tell you the effects of when there's an overpopulation of illegals and when they've been deported. And I'll take the deported side because it brings work to me and the guys that I hire.
All right, let me give you a real world example of how this has played out. So when we were looking into finishing our basement in our current home, we took a lot of different people, like 6 or 7 different contractors who came through and all gave us pricing and what they wanted to do. And ultimately we decided, all right, maybe we'll use them down the road. Let's handle what's going to take us months. Let's handle electrical on our own. Let's handle some of the woodwork on our own. Like, we can save a ton of money doing this. And then, well, if we want to bring them in later to finish up some trim work or stuff, okay, great. That's going to save us a ton. But what really stuck out, one person had a significantly cheaper way to do it. And when he basically lined it out and said, well, here's what the price is going to be, we're talking like $30,000 to $40,000 difference between what some of the other people had quoted us. And when I started asking him, I came to find out he just happens to be the one guy who speaks English. He rolls in his group, and not all of them are legal.
Oh, yes.
To do the work. Now, he's not a licensed contractor either. He just happens to, I can wrangle them together.
I can get the group, I can get the team together and give you a really, really generous offer.
So what's the difference? Real world example, you're hurting some of these other legitimate firms. Now, again, I was never going to go with that. I was like, nope, not interested, do not care for this. But that's what's happening in that marketplace, just as you're saying, a construction guy saying, I'm getting more jobs and I'm getting more money because the groups that were using illegals, they no longer have a workforce. They're afraid to show up.
That's right.
They can't do work. They can't take jobs.
You'll hear it from the guy's mouth.
And that artificially drives down wages.
Of course.
Again, I'm talking about $30,000 or $40,000 difference on one project. Now imagine we're doing that again and again and again and again.
Right. And he talks about how many times now that the phone is ringing versus just months ago. He said it's night and day difference. We're getting jobs that we would have never even been considered for. Like I said, we'll play that in a little while, but it just goes to show you that, again, J.D. Vance is right, that if you just allow us the leeway to do what we were elected to do to begin with, what we said we campaigned on, what we said we were going to do, what the American people are echoing it, and the polling numbers have not changed. The American people want that. And J.D. Vance is like, we have an obstacle. It's the courts. We have these activist judges that we've got to figure out how to wrangle. We've got to figure out how to get to a place where he says where they're comfortable. I think what he's saying is they got to go.
We are in this big transitionary period. Like this first year of this administration, you've changed the rules by which we all kind of look at things. For instance, I've said, I don't think we're going to be able to get 1 million people out of here. No, they're like 3 million. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I fully expected the American people would completely change on this stuff.
They haven't.
They haven't. You're now talking about a tariff system that we were told about what it's going to do to inflation. Nothing.
Hadn't done it.
It hasn't.
They've been wrong. The experts were wrong. Imagine that.
Everything continues to be reimagined, and then here's what we're doing. To know, and we'll get into this a little bit later, to know that something like birthright citizenship is now going to the Supreme Court. You want to talk about, we're talking game-changing stuff. We're talking like the difference of what's been going on in this country that's been rotting it for 40 years. And now suddenly that might be out the window. This is a different America.
Monumental.
And it's better for all working Americans. I mean, it changes the very idea of the importance of citizenship. Being a citizen of this country should be a blessing to you.
Absolutely. We saw Batya Ungar-Sargon. She talked about that. She's like, you should, when you come here, you should kiss the ground.
Yeah.
Because of the blessing that is being in the United States, and most often that's not the case.
Well, you shouldn't be trying to pilfer money from our society.
Billions, maybe.
Well, what's up, Minnesota?
How you?
We'll get around to that too. But like that's the idea of being an American should be important. We are the exception. American exceptionalism isn't the fact that, well, Americans are just better than everybody else. No, it's like we were founded on the idea of governing ourselves. That's rare in modern times. That we were the ones that said monarchs, no kings. Yeah, we were the first. We were the first since Rome to basically say this is how we're going to govern. That's why we're exceptional, because we're the exception to the rule. We're the exception to the founding of most societies.
I said this about him earlier. I don't know how the Canadian gets it, but he seems to be the one that gets it more than anybody else.
Kevin O'Leary just is running circles around these people when he goes on CNN. This is a guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, I think he's in the billionaire club.
I would imagine.
He's in the 3 comma club, right? I would imagine.
Yeah.
So Kevin O'Leary starts explaining that your normal metrics, and I'll say this, normally if somebody was to say this to me during the Biden administration, I would say BS, because consumer spending and consumer confidence was way down. Even when they were telling this, hey, everything's great. This is just transitory when it comes to inflation. And look at the stock market and look what's going on. I kept pointing out consumer spending is a problem. People are not spending their money.
They're afraid to.
They're racking up more debt than we've ever seen before. Tug would always have the credit card data of what was going on. So now listen to Kevin O'Leary as he brings up what he's seeing from, again, a billionaire guy who pays attention to the financial markets. When CNN wants to crap all over what's going on in this economy, this is O'Leary.
To save money, because they need to save money right now.
But collectively,
and I think that's going to be the story of it.
But for Black Friday, when you looked at the actual number of goods that were sold, there were less goods sold, but more money made because things are more expensive. That's actually what happened on Black Friday.
Data, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Cyber Monday, 208 million people bought online because the algorithms on all the platforms were the best ever. $1 extra billion of revenue. I know that because my companies were part of that success.
Revenue does not
$1
mean
billion more.
Money saved, though.
And also, you can cherry pick one economic stat, but the fact is, inflation has gone up since Trump took office. Unemployment has gone up since Trump took office. A lot of the macroeconomic indicators that people rely on aren't doing too well. So yeah, you can cherry pick small things like this has gone down, but when you walk to the grocery store, beef is
cherry pick this. We're 40 points off an all-time high in history on the S&P 500.
We do
the number one economy on earth. Are you kidding?
It's growing at a slower rate than it did under Biden.
We're number one on earth, and we're
who's benefiting in that number one? I think
you are. Everybody that's retired is. Anybody
Trump
that has
has
any
crashed the market
savings
like
anywhere.
4 times.
All right.
I mean, how can you bash number one in the world?
Thank you, guys. Next for us. Nightcap.
Change the subject. Change the subject.
If the Atlanta Fed is correct and we're looking at 4% on GDP, moving towards 5%. All right, we had one quarter during the Biden administration where it got above basically 2.5%.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 4.5%, 5%.
And then, dude, just the inflation under Biden, 9%.
Yes.
And it's what, 2
and then
points?
And then they're like, now it's 4%. Okay, it was 9% last year. It's 4% this year. Yeah, no wonder all this stuff is costing what it is. Again, you can look at fuel prices. Fuel prices drives all of this. Fuel prices are lowest in 5 years.
In 5 years, dude.
We're going to be on 5 and 6 years. All right, this government.
Talking about cherry picking some things.
Yeah, this is changing. This is what's going on. You have, because look at the unemployment numbers. Yes, we have terminated a lot of government employees that were taking dollars out of the private sector while also sending people out of this country that aren't supposed to be here.
They would never bring that up on CNN.
Never going to bring those numbers up.
Ever.
Biden administration basically was hiring strictly eventually federal workers to make the numbers skew.
That's right. Yeah. And then healthcare is the other place that it continued to grow. And as we know, Obamacare runs the entirety of the healthcare system. So both instances was just more government. When we continue on Extra 106.3, the lessons being learned by our adversaries in the Caribbean should be crystal clear to our adversaries everywhere. Next on Extra 106.3.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Good morning. Let's talk about True Prep. Hey, it's Los. First off, 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta, or please go online, truprep.com. That's truprep.com. What's so cool about True Prep? Well, it's about being ready. And whatever your version of ready is, they can help you out, and they can also teach you. That's the cool part. It's not just a store where there's stuff for people that love to get outdoors, or if you're looking to go ahead and prepare for the unexpected. I'm big on food prep. I like to have some extra stuff around just in case. You never know. That's one of the things you can get there. Or when it comes to personal or your home protection, they have got the firearms to take care of that as well. But again, it's also the other end of what True Prep offers you. Coming up Sunday, December 14th, this is the next one, Firearm Fundamentals for First-Time Owners. These are regular workshops that they have that you can always check into. So not only can you look into perhaps your first firearm or your next firearm, or if you have somebody, it's going to be their first, get them in the class as well. This is part of the stuff that they offer when it comes to True Prep. And also, for this month, Unwrapped. You got toys, you want to make a donation, Toys for Tots, official drop-off center right there over at True Prep, 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta. Go to truprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
It's the holiday season at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and we're bringing you 3 weeks of wonder. This week, it's our Shy Creation pop-up. We're featuring one of our favorite designer lines of gorgeous, trendy fashion jewelry. Whether it's huggy hoop earrings for a stocking stuffer or a diamond-studded necklace under the tree to blow her away, there's something for everybody this week. And it all leads up to a trunk show this weekend with Shy's full line of jewelry. Save up to 20% on all Shy Creation jewelry, or take advantage of 0% APR for 18 months in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. Learn more at dgeller.com.
This holiday season, elevate your drive with a new Cadillac from Jim Ellis Cadillac.
Absolutely. It's the time of year when luxury, style, and incredible year-end offers all come together.
Explore models like the sophisticated CT5, the spacious XT6, or the iconic Escalade, each crafted with premium materials and refined performance.
And your dealership experience? It's next level. Enjoy white glove service and a streamlined buying process, including the Jim Ellis Expressway for a faster, more convenient way to shop from home.
And here's what makes the season truly meaningful. With every vehicle sold through January 2nd, Jim Ellis Cadillac will make a donation to Must Ministries, supporting local families with food, shelter, and essential care this holiday season.
Drive something exceptional and help bring hope to our community.
Visit JimEllisCadillac.com or stop by the Atlanta showroom off Peachtree Boulevard.
Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
Hey, this is John Flading, the owner of ATL Turfco. If your grass didn't grow this summer, there's a good chance it won't grow this spring. It's time to think about a custom, low-maintenance, pet-friendly, artificial lawn that will stay green year-round. So this holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving. A perfect backyard or custom golf green from ATL Turfco. See what's possible for your home. Read our 5-star reviews and book your appointment today at atlturfco.com. Spots are filling up fast, so call now 404-825-7063.
Thousands of veterans across Georgia are missing out on the benefits they've earned through their service. The Warrior Alliance is changing that by connecting veterans and their families to life-changing resources and support. Tune into the Warrior Alliance Network, our podcast and radio show dedicated to helping veterans succeed after service. Join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. on 106.3 to hear inspiring veteran stories, discover free programs, and learn about career opportunities available to you. Subscribe to the Warrior Alliance YouTube channel today.
Hey, it's Only the Cover here. You hear me raving about my friend Jeff, the owner of Peach State Windows. Well, Jeff's been serving Georgia homeowners with excellence for almost 50 years. You know, he knows Georgia homes, Georgia weather, and Georgia construction better than pretty much anybody. Simply put, these guys are the guys to use. Now, listen, wait a minute. Don't be fooled. Other companies waving around similar deals. They don't have Jeff's experience, and they sure don't deliver the same Peach State quality. Speaking of deals right now, listen to this. Jeff and his team are offering 8 Energy Star double-hung vinyl replacement windows installed for just $39.95. That's 8 top-of-the-line windows installed for under $4,000. And Jeff is offering no money down, 0% financing for up to 12 months with your good credit. Don't forget, tell them Kimmer sent you. Additional savings only available to Extra 1063 listeners. So don't wait. Lock in this amazing deal on windows today at PeachStateWindows.com. PeachStateWindows.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, December 8th. U.S. immigration officials are opening a new vetting center in Atlanta to boost national security. The facility will use advanced screening and AI to review immigration applications and identify potential threats. USCIS says the center will speed up coordination with federal agencies and strengthen public safety. A new case of chronic wasting disease, often called zombie deer disease, has been confirmed in Atkinson County in southeast Georgia. State officials say it's the 9th infected deer found in Georgia. The disease is always fatal to deer, and wildlife experts warn hunters not to consume any animal that appears to be infected. And Atlanta has been ranked the number 4 most fun city in America. A new Wallet Hub study looked at entertainment, nightlife, dining, and recreation in more than 180 cities. Atlanta scored high for festivals, restaurants, clubs, parks, and affordable activities for both residents and visitors. Today's weather mostly cloudy with a high of 51 degrees. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Pete Hegseth is a guy that I supported for Secretary of War even before I knew him. I don't know him. Even before I knew about him. A dear friend of this show, Joey Jones, is like, hey, man, this guy's the real deal. And this is before he was ever even a consideration for the Secretary of War. He was just like, he's the real deal because I worked with him. They were weekend guys together on Fox News Channel. Now, I know that was a negative when they were presenting him. And when Trump bought him out, that's all the left could say was, it's a weekend news
Fox
anchor.
guy.
What does he know? And Joey's like, I'm telling you, this dude's a real deal. I heard him speaking, I saw the clips yesterday, and one of them that we won't play made me ready to throw my Cracker Jacks back on.
Oh, okay.
The War Department will not be distracted by democracy building, interventionism, undefined wars, regime change, climate change, wokeness, or feckless nation building. Here, sir.
Thank you.
I want to defend this nation, what is what he was saying.
I get it. A lot of times it's very difficult for our veterans that went through the war on terrorism to kind of find meaning for what a lot of the sacrifice is and what it was. And I've talked about part of it was taking the fight to the enemy rather than it being on our shores.
And to that point, again, to reference Joey Jones, he echoed the exact same thing. When Lo said that, he's exactly right. And this is a guy who lost his legs doing just that.
But here's the other end of it, and why I'm also so thankful for those veterans that served during that time period. The other end of it, many of them are now in TV, in politics, in government, and they all recognize the foolishness of forever wars and traipsing around the world and getting involved in conflicts that we shouldn't be involved in. Just they recognize the real sacrifice that goes along with that. And so when you hear Pete Hegseth say, we're not getting involved in this stuff, I'm like, here. That generation who grew up with that does not want to have the next generation of American men and women go through this sort of stuff for no reason or for a limited scope. Because at one point when we were in Afghanistan, bothers me to no end. At one point, our job was to guard the poppy fields.
It was just insane. People don't believe that that's real, though. When you bring that discussion up, a lot of people don't believe that was real.
Imagine telling American soldiers, professional warfighters, that your job, while dodging the Taliban, is to protect the poppy fields. How ridiculous does that sound?
Absurd. And then the big punctuator was obviously when we pulled out, and it was so embarrassing, and you lose 13 soldiers. It was the giant exclamation point on what a freaking disaster this was.
And so this is Pete Hegseth, also as part of that conference. He brings up the Monroe Doctrine. Now, if you're a little bit behind on going through your high school stuff, because that's probably the last time that the Monroe Doctrine, like middle school, high school is when Monroe Doctrine came up.
Right.
And all it was under James Monroe as president, that we were, as the United States of America, that we were not going to look upon European interests in our hemisphere very well. If you thought to yourself that you were going to show up in our end of the hemisphere and you were going to start cultivating, let's say, hey, I'm going to start a colony here. No, you're not. Like, we are not going to allow this in our hemisphere. It belongs to us. We will dictate as part of our policy and our level of security. You will not be involved here. So part of the reason why you have these drug boats blowing up is also as a warning to China and to Russia, do not operate in our hemisphere. Take a listen to what Hegseth said.
We will also deny adversaries' ability to position forces or other threatening capabilities in our hemisphere. Past administrations perpetuated the belief that the Monroe Doctrine had expired. They were wrong. The Monroe Doctrine is in effect, and it is stronger than ever under the Trump corollary. A common sense restoration of our power and prerogatives in this hemisphere, consistent with U.S. interests.
The Monroe Doctrine started in 1823. And as Pete Hegseth is pointing out, this administration, albeit one that doesn't want to go off and start wars somewhere off in Europe or get involved in stuff going on in China or Taiwan or anything else along these lines. It's more of, we're going to stabilize, but we're not going to be involved. But if you think that means you can come into our end of the hemisphere and start dictating terms, that's not happening either.
Which is what we've been telling you for months and months and months about the
Chinese. That's why we're blowing up boats.
That's exactly right. And we were letting the Chinese know, no, you're not building a Navy base. The Russians know you're not putting any sort of, because they already have a weapons stash down in Venezuela, and we're putting an end to that. We're not going to allow it.
Well, and Tug, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think you're good to bring this up, because you were the first person who said, hey, look what's going on with the Panama Canal. You're the first person who said, yeah, they're running the Chinese out of there. And what happened? Yeah, they ran the Chinese out of there.
That's exactly right. Because, what sense does it make to allow your worst enemy, your proven most bitter enemy in the Chinese, to allow them to run something that you paid for, you built, and that benefits you? At the time, they weren't even letting our warships go through there free. We built it. You're telling me we got to pay for it to come through there? We turned it over to you, which was dumb under Jimmy Carter. We should have never done that to begin with. But now people like Donald Trump and people like Pete Hegseth are going, dude, that's not the way it's going to work anymore. We are going to add order to our hemisphere.
Doesn't it feel good to have a commander-in-chief?
Yes.
Somebody who's actually strong in the interests of America?
Yes.
Doesn't it feel good to know that when it comes to our enemies, not that we're looking to tell you, hey, listen, we're gonna bomb the hell out of you, but it's a reminder of, we can.
And we will. We don't want to.
It goes the old adage, walk softly, carry a big stick.
And you know who does that better than and look, obviously think Donald Trump's a great president. J.D. Vance is even going to be stronger with the Monroe Doctrine than anybody, because if you remember what he said when on the sloppy signal chat, he's like, no, let's not defend.
Yeah, why would we bomb the Houthis?
That's right. Why would we do that?
What kind of threat are they?
All that is passage for the Europeans. Let the Europeans take care of that. You want to see somebody that's going to magnify the Monroe Doctrine? Wait till J.D. Vance is elected.
J.D. Vance is going to be a callback to a different era. Like you and I, when we were growing up, one of the precursors to being the president was, what was your military service? And that largely went away with Barack Obama. Oh, you're a street organizer. Okay, good enough for me. Donald Trump, nowhere close to it. But that used to be that initial measure, which was where did you serve? What did you do? Oh, J.D. Vance is a Marine. And he's a Marine during the very era we're talking about. These people that are in their 40s, their 30s, where they were the ones who had their butts on the line during global war on terrorism. They're the ones that have the deep respect for what we get involved in and what we don't.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's something
too.
that was a master's course in the use of American power. And I believe going forward, when you talk or you hear from guys like Joey Jones, why is he so regulated in terms of what he wants America involved in? Because he lost his legs. He looks at it as
sacrifice.
Yeah, he looks at it as what's worth it, what's not. And it better be pretty worth it to put Americans in harm's way after what we did for 20 years.
I wonder where Hegseth, I'm obviously speculating completely because, we're 3 years away from another election. Where does Hegseth fit in a J.D. Vance? Is he in the administration at all? I mean, where does he? I feel like they, obviously both Marines, I feel they clearly feel differently on things, which is okay. That's not a bad thing at all. But I wonder how he fits. I wonder where he fits. I don't expect that he'll be the Secretary of War in another administration. I could be wrong about that. But I love gathering people like him and putting more people like him and like JD in an administration that will be even more conservative than Donald Trump was to begin with.
Well, I think the allure of Donald Trump, too, was that you knew this is 4 years. This is what it is.
You got to get some things done.
It's why I think you did end up getting people like Pete Hegseth or Dan Bongino or Kash Patel, who said, this is 4 years. Now, is it possible you stay on as the director of the FBI? Sure. That you have some that sit through multiple administrations. Definitely happens. But when you are the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, typically that is tied to the administration. And I think that was probably alluring that it was, hey, I'm just doing 4 years.
Yeah.
Especially when you're leaving something like Bongino and Pete Hegseth left.
Getting paid.
They were $1 million jobs.
Getting paid.
$1 million jobs. It was like, okay, I'll come serve for the time.
Yeah, it says a lot about them.
Sure does. The right kind of people that you're looking for.
They would be willing to turn it over. Because I'll admit, I have no desire. I mean, not that I'm in a position. I'm not trying to pretend I'm in a position. Los, on the other hand, different story altogether. But seriously, I don't have any desire to serve in any of those capacities. I don't want to be in government. I don't want to, I don't want to do any of those things. I want to do my duty. I want to go out and vote. I want to support candidates that I think that will be good for our country. And I think there's places for people like me. I think that's, it's a good thing to have people that are engaged in the political process, but from a completely outside point of view. So there's plenty of room for us, but I have to say that's commendable. And the other thing is I don't make $1 million, so if I did, I definitely wouldn't have left it.
So I have a new theory on what has been happening, and we can get into this at some point. But have you noticed the difference in the people out there where whether they work for a network or not, or they have an income where it's steady, they know what it is, versus the influencers? Because the influencers who have to make, I need more subscriptions, I need more subs, I need more, they're starting to do the most outlandish stuff.
Have to, right? You got to keep eyes on you.
Whereas other people are like, I built it, we're good. Yeah, it's a money making machine. I don't have to be outlandish.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't live in that world either. I just don't have that. I don't know what you'd call it.
I don't have the clickbait mentality.
Okay, that's really the way. Yeah, me either. And that's the thing. Like, usually if I post on social media, it's just something that I love. It's something that I find humorous, something. It's not earth-shattering. It's not going to change anybody's mind about anything. It's just like, hey, this is what he likes or this is what he's into. And that's it.
All right, so if you were with us in the opening segment, the opening hour, when I talked about the politics that we have in this town, plus football.
Yeah.
So I have my friend Buck Ballou who reached out.
Did he hear us say this?
I don't know, but he's responding to my tweet from last night. He just says, I've been keeping it real on this organization for years. Yes, he has. That's true. Yeah. You want to try and keep it as real as I did?
No, look,
that's my question to you, Mr. Ballou.
Well, but here's the thing. I don't know that he's willing to say it, but I bet he thinks it.
Yeah. I'd be willing to know that he recognizes the politics of what it is.
There's a select few down the hall that
recognize the politics.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's the other that be completely oblivious or just wouldn't be willing to say it.
I'm just pointing out that when Falcons fans get so upset over what's going on, know that Arthur Blank's politics, in my opinion, based on what they have been, does not allow him to fire the only black combination of general manager and head coach right now.
Meritocracy be damned.
It's like, how many times do you think he's going to have to be at one of his dinner function, have to explain that?
Holding his pinky out while drinking.
Right, which for people that don't care about wins and losses.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
clearly, look at their politics.
They're probably like Meghan Trainor. They do football over there? Is that what they do at your little place?
This is Patrick. He does sports.
Yeah, but that's the way those people are talking to Arthur Blank because they don't have any idea.
Right.
They don't keep. I bet they can tell you about,
Arthur Blank is just checking boxes.
That's right. And it shows in the outcomes. It lets you know real quick.
I'm going to have to text Buck. I'm like, you want to keep it this real?
Yeah, do it, because I want to see what he says. I want to know what he says. The giant January 6th pipe bomb surprise. Next on Xtra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, December 8th. The college football playoffs are now set. The SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs are officially the 3 seed overall, and they will enjoy a bye week before awaiting the winner of Tulane and Ole Miss. Georgia will next play on January 1st in the Sugar Bowl. Playoff snub Notre Dame, they've decided to not take part in bowl season this year. The Falcons, they're now just 4-9 after a 37-9 loss at home to the Seattle Seahawks. And Monday Night Football ends Week 14 in the NFL tonight as the 8-4 Philadelphia Eagles are in Los Angeles to play the 8-4 Chargers. That kickoff is set for 8:15. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Join Daniel Madelon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guest is Major James Bullock of the Cobb County Police Department. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
It's midnight and the phone rings. It's a loved one calling from jail. They had a little too much fun at the holiday party and got pulled over. Now what? Time to call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. A Second Chance will get your loved one home quickly. For 20 years, they've been helping folks with 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham and are available 24/7. For fast, professional, discreet services, call 404-BAILOUT. That's 404-BAILOUT or visit atlbail.com. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us.
Atlanta Braves single game tickets for the 2026 season are now on sale. Get your tickets for some exciting NL East matchups next season, plus great series against the Red Sox, Cubs, Dodgers, and more. And snag the first giveaway of the season, the Drake Baldwin Rookie of the Year bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola on March 31st during the opening homestand.
Baldwin sends one soaring, got a shot, and that is out of here.
And fans can also look forward to the return of some popular ticket packages, including Hello Kitty, Girls Night Out, and Father's Day Catch on the Field, which includes a 20-minute session on the field after the game to play catch. And the Braves are excited to also announce some brand new ticket packages honoring pop culture icons SpongeBob and Snoopy. And it's never too soon to plan your group outing. Great seats and hospitality spaces are also on sale. So visit Braves.com/promos to see more details and purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Mike Plant, President and CEO of the Braves Development Company.
I think back about 2003 when I started with the Braves, and I just knew we had to create a destination that people wanted to come to year-round. We had a blank canvas, and I think we had a pretty good feel for what would be a year-round destination, mixed-use development, lifestyle center, all those. Fortunately, we have this incredible relationship long-term with Georgia Power. Right away, they saw our vision, they got our vision, they understood it, and they knew they needed to be a big part of that. They are leaders as far as being part of this community. We don't have power, we don't have life, So, they've been a great partner of ours, and they're there with us every step of the way.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit GeorgiaPower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
Los, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the Honest Car Guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. It really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. On a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000, but it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%, or really it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1 or honestcarguy.com.
2025 is wrapping up, and here's the truth. Uncertainty isn't going anywhere. Noble Gold Investments
help you protect what you've built with real gold and silver, stuff that holds value when everything else is melting down. This holiday season, the best gift you can give your family? Peace of mind. Don't wait for the next crash to blindside you. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com and get started today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Don't leave the future to chance. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Xtra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Is there a small part of your brain not occupied with pro football or Sydney Sweeney that might be slightly curious as to why so many young people found themselves on the Zohan Mondami socialist communist bandwagon in New York?
Atlanta Talk Radio legends are only on Xtra 106.3.
Well, I don't know what Neil Bort's talking about there, but football and Sydney Sweeney are some good things to think about, if you ask me. That's just me thinking out loud. I could be wrong about that.
I'm completely fine with it.
I actually prefer it.
Listen, if there's things in this world, especially as you get older, that still make your pants go crazy, that's a good thing. You're still alive.
That means you're healthy.
It means you're good. Doing good.
That's right. Meet Ed. You get the ad playing.
I mean, think about like the poor old dog that sits in the yard. And that dog, when it was a young dog, there would go like a fire truck, ice cream truck, anything. And the dog would just run back and forth in the yard and bark and bark and bark, chase cars.
Yeah.
Now that dog just lays in the yard and just picks its head up and then puts its head back down. That's a sad way to be.
Poor thing. Go pet it on its head.
That's right.
Be good to it. Be good to it.
Pants going crazy,
right.
Good thing.
Might be all right. Might be all right. There was a giant surprise when it came to the January 6th pipe bomber. And that's because Joe Biden told you on multiple occasions. Do you have one of those pieces of sound?
If you stand up against the poison of white supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
He said that specifically about January 6th, too, if you recall.
The inaugural address.
Yeah, right.
The United States of America.
Oh, yeah, what was the one they did? What's the one you played earlier?
Or the
United States. What was it?
Americata.
Yeah, Americata, that's it.
We're the United States of America.
That was Friday, everybody. That wasn't like we had to dig deep for that. That was Friday. When
we
he
used
said
to
that.
do a full segment on this show, but just about his bumbles,
his blunders,
and that's before everybody admitted that it was.
Well, I mean, that's a lisp, dude.
Yeah,
it's not any sort of issue going on with his brain. That's just a lisp.
Yeah, that's what they.
Stop being so mean.
That's right.
So now that we know, Brian Cole Jr.
Stop being so mean.
Ends up being the suspect of this January. Now, by the way, that's another funny thing. You want to talk about the rewriting of history right now? What the left has tried to do? Reports say he thought the election was stolen.
Yes.
Okay, so you're floating out these reports in order to try and change the narrative that someone whose family has not only hated Trump, but has also
sued him,
tried to sue Donald Trump, that suddenly this is the biggest MAGA person ever. And the shocking part to everyone on the left was, well, how do we spin it now that we know he's black? Okay, let's first say it's a white guy. That was the move on Thursday. You know, the
Jake Tapper.
Brian Cole, and he's white. Okay.
He had to come back and apologize.
Right. He's like, oops.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's about the blackest white guy I've ever seen, ever, in the history of white people.
That's right.
Then the spin had to become, well, clearly he's a MAGA supporter. If he was, let's just use common sense here. If he was. So you're telling me that they went and made sure to get cell phone data from all the carriers out there to know who was in D.C. to then launch as many investigations and lock up as many MAGA people that they could possibly say were near the Capitol. But the guy who planted bombs around D.C., they left alone.
His cell phone data was corrupt.
Yes.
They said.
Which it wasn't.
No, of course.
That was the lie from the FBI. His cell phone data was corrupted. That's why we weren't able to track him. Turns out they're like, no.
We're just not doing it. We're just not doing it.
They just decided not to do it. He was part of an operation in conjunction with the FBI. This is Antifa and the FBI holding hands. And the biggest problem they have is that they can't pin it on MAGA-looking white dude. Instead, they're like, who picked the black guy to do this?
Like,
Really? Like, you really went down.
It doesn't go with our narrative.
You could have gone all sorts of ways here. Why do we keep on picking white shooters to take a shot at Donald Trump? And one of you jokers decided the one guy we're going to have in D.C. dropping pipe bombs at places is going to be the black guy. Take a listen to CNN being surprised.
I should believe what he says. No, maybe he put a bomb at the DNC because he believed the Democrats stole the election because Republicans and conspiracy theorists pushed that, and he put the bomb at the RNC because the vice president, who was about to be sworn in, was going to ride by that area. There are many scenarios that the prosecution will have to play out this case. But I'm gonna say the thing out loud that I think everyone is not saying and is actually surprised, and why I think Janine Pirro is actually saying it. I think the fact that this man is a black man is surprising to people. I think people thought this was going to be a white man that did this. They were going to be able to say he was a part of the progressive left. And the fact that it's a black man that is saying, I too was susceptible to conspiracy theorists that the president and conservative podcasters were pushing that this election was stolen is a fact that they were not expecting, and now everyone is on their heels and they're trying to spin it. And I think that might be also why you think, let's not believe his actual story right now. Like he's trying to get both sides.
Possible.
I mean,
all right, so here's the joke about all this.
Certainly possible.
So close to it. You have a progressive black man who was dropping bombs around which, why are you doing that? Well, you're trying to make it the narrative that MAGA was so dangerous, so problematic, because the operation was afoot. For all the online influencers, the real dummies of this world, that were talking about how, look, Trump's rhetoric, that managed to, look at what he said. They were dropping the bombs off the day before Trump ever spoke to anyone. So what are they, that clairvoyant that he knew exactly what Trump was going to say, so that's how he was weaponized?
Well, I mean, you could predict. You could probably guess what he was
going to do.
Say.
There's a reason why they didn't prosecute him or track him down.
Dude, that's a lot of hoops. When you listen to the cut that was just played from CNN, there's a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yes.
To buy into what's being said.
Occam's razor. The most obvious answer is typically the right answer.
And then the data that his family has a bonding company that focuses on illegal immigrants and getting them out of jail. They're BLM supporters. They're suing the president because he's not letting enough people be released on bond.
But he MAGA as hell.
Yes, that's right. But their son has...
He was the wayward soul.
That's right. They probably don't even communicate with each other. They're so different politically.
He was the one who decided, oh, I'm going to feel differently about this.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yeah,
I mean, we had the same thing.
I just don't know about this.
That occurred when it was the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk, allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how they focused on his family? They're Trump voters. I'm like, yeah, but his son was involved with a man with a furry and they were living together. Like, there are people
he actually was the wayward soul.
Yeah. It's like, that actually was the way it was.
Yeah.
But they had to spin it in this. Well, I mean,
Isn't it funny? In this one, they're not spinning it. They're just going exactly opposite direction.
The exact opposite direction.
But they're so creative.
It's so simple. When you know how these people are going to react to everything, you can also predict everything they're going to do. Because they are, above all, strictly about their politics.
First and foremost,
all the time.
And if you know someone or a family member, like I am, and those two, that has family members that are of the leftist mindset, you see it. Every time you see them, you see their politics. Los and I do this for a living and don't talk politics after about 10 in the morning. The last thing I want to do is talk about politics. And it was crazy. Over the weekend, in two different scenarios, people bring up politics, and I'm like, God, what about that football game?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I've already talked about it enough. I mean, here, listen to the show, and you'll know what I think.
Right. There's only 20 hours worth every single week.
That's right.
Oh, what do you think about this? Well,
I've already told you.
It's on the app.
It's on the app. You go back and listen to it.
It's on the app. You're welcome to listen to it.
Yes, all you have to do.
It's not a problem.
No, I know. But they always try to. But the point I was making is that they always try to drag you in. They always try to drag you into a conversation that you don't want to have.
Again, they managed to put grandma away off cell phone data. And here's our CCTVs. And we've got this person, and they happen to wander into the Capitol. This person in Brian Cole Jr. was all over town, every surveillance, and had his phone data, and yet they were like...
He's the only one that they couldn't figure out.
The guy who was dropping off pipe bombs, they just couldn't figure out.
Grandma stumbling in through there, being shown the door, having stanchions.
What is the obvious answer as to why they didn't catch him? They didn't want to.
This is the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. When we come back, vetting immigrants who want to come to the United States may not be enough. That's what one online magazine has to say. And they may be right. Next on the Morning Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, I know that most of you don't read the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, so let me help you out here with a little piece in the Sunday paper written by Mayor Andre Dickens called "Atlanta Has a Moral Imperative to Fix City's Inequality." And in that article, he said that systemic poverty in America is primarily a problem of place. And he went on to detail about children born in Atlanta's distressed neighborhoods. 20% chance of being born below a healthy weight, 80% chance of entering 5th grade without basic reading, 1% chance of becoming a high-income earner, only 1%, 20 fewer years, and somebody born just a few miles away. Let me cut to the chase here. Andre Dickens would have us believe, if you read his article in the AJC, that it's all about needing to spend more money in these neighborhoods. Neighborhood reinvestments, creating a fairness of place so that every child in Atlanta, regardless of zip code, has access to safe streets, etc. What a load of BS, nonsense. Here's what Andre Dickens did not say. All of these distressed neighborhoods that are poor, where the children don't perform, where the streets aren't safe, they have something in common that the mayor of Atlanta just cannot bring himself to acknowledge, let alone talk about. These neighborhoods are full of children who are raised without fathers. You want a reason why they can't read? You want a reason why the streets aren't safe? Thousands of kids being raised by single mothers, no fathers. But oh my God, you can't acknowledge that. It has to be about systemic something. As long as we have leaders that refuse to recognize the problem persists. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Attention Extra listeners. The end of the year is closing in. Are your retirement plans ready? We at Master Plan Retirement Consultants are holistic retirement planners, including income and growth planning, tax strategies, and estate and legacy planning. Each piece of the retirement puzzle must fit together cohesively because we know a change in one area can inevitably affect the others. Our boutique team serves you with fiduciary care, ensuring every step moves you closer to a confident, sustainable retirement. Don't wait. There's still time to adjust your plan before year end. Schedule your complimentary consultation now at masterplanretire.com. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
It could be a problem. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. That's what President Trump says about a deal for Netflix to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, giving it two of the biggest streaming services, Netflix and HBO Max. The president says he'll be involved in the approval process.
Netflix is a great company, and they've done a phenomenal job. Ted is a fantastic man. I have a lot of respect for him, but it's a lot of market share. So we'll have to see what happens.
Ted Sarandos is the co-CEO of Netflix. The purchase would include the Warner Brothers movie and TV studios, but not its cable networks like CNN. The president was asked about the deal before last night's Kennedy Center honors in D.C. He's at the White House today and gives a speech about the economy tomorrow.
Not far from his predecessor's hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania, President Trump will make the case his policies are bringing down cost and making life more affordable. The economic messaging comes amid polling that shows Americans are frustrated with the economy and Democratic gains in recent elections. President Trump has dismissed the idea that Democrats are the party of affordability, calling that a con job, and pointing to the price of gas and groceries as evidence of his economic success. White House officials indicate tomorrow's stop in Pennsylvania is the first in what will be a nationwide tour during 2026. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
New York City's mayor-elect posts a video advising immigrant New Yorkers how to not comply with federal immigration agents.
Zohran Mamdani releasing the video to social media.
These are the things that every New Yorker should know. First, ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge.
He also warned immigrants not to impede an ICE investigation, resist arrest, or run. In New York, Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Ukraine's President Zelensky is meeting today in London with British, French, German, and European Union and NATO leaders. President Trump says Zelensky hasn't even read a U.S. proposal for peace with Russia. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes. Heroes like Josh Bischoff. Josh began his firefighting career as a volunteer and ultimately became CAL FIRE's Assistant Chief of Tactical Air Operations until tragedy struck and he was killed in a helicopter collision while fighting a California wildfire. He leaves behind his wife Cheryl and their 2 children, Derek and Juliana. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation paid the Bischoff family's mortgage. Support heroes like Josh and their families. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tired of all the negative media manipulation? Wake up feeling right with a Morning Extra on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
So glad that you're here on this Monday. It's a little dreary, a little cold outside, but who cares? We are coming up on vacation. I bet you are too, and I know you have to be excited about it. I know this weekend, Los is going to be off and running. You got volleyball, and you got this whole week for you is pretty.
Going to be in Tennessee with my older daughter. My younger daughter, they'll be at the Georgia World Congress Center. So we're split
Divide
squad. Yeah, the 11s are in one places. The 16s are in another.
I know so many families have been in that scenario. So there's people right now just nodding their head, going, "Yep, I've done that before."
And this week is also play week. My oldest daughter is in a play,
which is so cool.
So we're having to get her as soon as she's done Friday night. We then have to jump in the car and immediately head for Tennessee. So I'm hoping that we're there by like 11 o'clock maybe.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, that'd be 10 o'clock too there too because they're an hour behind.
The nice part is they don't have to show up to the facility they're at until 10 o'clock the next morning. Okay, so at least they'll get a little chance to sleep in.
Absolutely. And maybe even see a little bit of Nashville.
Whereas my youngest daughter, we'll get the schedules here pretty soon, but I would imagine they're at the Georgia World Congress Center and on the floor by like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Woo!
That can be an early one.
I know. There's nothing. I know, for my son when it was club baseball time and they were, playing those early games, it'd be like, 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning, be freezing outside, dew on the grass. Just so impossible to play good baseball then. But they did it. You just do what you got to do.
You just do what you can. You just make it happen.
Just play as well as you can. So if you've got busy week and weekend, we understand. We are right there with you because we got kids too. And my youngin',
I am one of you.
Yeah, that's right. I'm one of y'all. That's what
one of
y'all.
y'all.
That's what you're going to do up in Tennessee.
That's right.
One of y'all. Except in downtown Nashville. Nashville proper, it's all freaking lefty loonies. Anybody that's actual Nashville doesn't live in Nashville anymore. That's the thing. Everybody's moved out. They're like, y'all can just have it.
Last time we were there, it was, I guess it was some festival or, I don't know, some award show.
They do a ton of those, so yeah, it's no surprise.
It's me and my friend Logan, and we're trying to pull into this parking garage, And the woman asked, like, "Oh, are y'all artists?"
Yes. Yes. Matter of fact.
Logan's like, he's got a cowboy hat. He's like, "Oh yeah, yes ma'am." Right into there.
Are you serious? It worked?
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Usually if you just act like you were supposed to and belong.
Yeah, yes ma'am.
Respond.
Just showing up to come play.
Yeah, just respond appropriately, and you can usually get through any barrier you need to without any sort of rough effort.
It's a pretty cool move on his part.
No, I love it, dude. Just the fact that he was able to on the spot. Yep. Yes, ma'am. I absolutely.
Like, yes.
Tip the cowboy hat there at the end.
This is my brown fiddle player.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Come on. We're going to go play some good country music for you. I hope you'll watch the show. Hit them with that just to seal the deal.
I hope you'll come watch the show.
Seal the deal. That's what you need to do right there. I was reading this weekend an article, and I wasn't, to be honest, super familiar with the outlet. But the article made a lot of sense to me, and I wanted to bring it to you. It's called Chronicles Magazine. And they said vetting immigrants may not be enough to save America from fraud and violence. Trump stopped a bunch of migrants coming from 19 countries who have incompatible cultures. And I think there's certainly more of those. And that's the point of the magazine, too. They were just like, I think we can do better than that. No one can come here from cultures that despise freedom. Will some people be penalized that shouldn't be? Yes, it will happen. Some people will not be able to come here, and they have none of those feelings. But unfortunately, life's not fair. That's just the way it works. It doesn't matter. Go to any other country, and you will face the same scrutiny, or you will face, like in Japan, you ain't becoming a citizen.
No.
Just not going to do it. They're just not willing to allow it because they want to keep their culture intact, and good for them.
They value their citizenship much more than we do.
Yeah, which is nuts.
And we're trying to get back to where citizenship is valuable. It should be. It should be special to be an American. It should be appreciated. And so I think if just when you get down to brass tacks, the very simple idea of who's here and who's not, which cultures appreciate ours? Which ones want to assimilate into ours? If you don't, then I think it's one strike.
Yeah.
That might be two strikes right there.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's another one. This one is the one that stood out to me, Los. And I'll let you decide, listening now, if this stands out to you as much as it did to me. And it said, stronger vetting will not eliminate the risk of foreign terrorism. Indeed, there have been many instances of immigrants or their first-generation dependents lashing out without warning in acts of violence against their adopted Western homelands. Think about that for a little bit. Maybe even the parents came here with good intentions.
Yeah.
And then their children are born here, raised here, and radicalized here. I've brought this up many times, and it seems to be a good time to bring it up again when the ambassador to the United Arab Emirates said, in the future, and this was about 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that.
6, 7.
Yeah. That was incidental. I didn't even mean to do that.
You walked into it and I've got kids.
I know, that's right.
Dang it.
Dude, I didn't even expect it. I wasn't even setting you up for that. That was like genuine. I had no idea. Word of the year, I think Oxford Dictionary, something like that. But
poor Dre's just shaking his head like,
it's like, oh God, you silly clown.
So disappointed.
I know. I'm disappointed myself.
No, I'm not. I think it's great.
No, I hurt Jerry and I hurt the audience and I hurt you too a little bit.
He said the United Arab Emirate ambassador. He said in the near future, more radicals will come from the United States and Europe than will from the Middle East because we understand radical Islam. We've dealt with it forever. Y'all are just getting a new taste of it, and political correctness will keep you from protecting yourselves.
Sure,
which is
100%.
Which is so glaring, and especially in light of what they're saying in Chronicles Magazine. I'll read it for you just one more time. There have been instances of immigrants and their first-generation descendants lashing out without warning in violence against their adopted Western homelands. I would argue with adopted, because they would tell you they hate America in most of those situations. But it just becomes so loud to me. As a dude that tries to give people the benefit of the doubt and wants to have, people that are different from me, because I love, different cultures. That was one thing that I think I learned and grew about the most in the Navy was seeing other cultures and how cool it was and how different we were, but how similar we were. And just, I appreciate all of those cultures. But at the very same time, I recognize there are people that do not love America. There are people that do not love me. They don't love you. They don't love Los. They don't love our families. They want to topple the United States, and they say it out loud.
Well, the question is, are you comfortable being the ugly American? Because you can appreciate other cultures while also believing that yours is superior.
Absolutely right.
And that, the push has been like, well, that's some form of racism. Well, I'm sorry, the way that I view my gay and lesbian brethren is different than how they're viewed around the world.
That's right.
I believe in your right to live. I believe in the right for you to be happy. If you want to, if that's how you feel, I believe that's the way you should live your life. I think the best thing we can do in this world, if you can be happy with yourself, then you can be good to other people.
That's right.
And so,
because it's all internal.
So if I happen to view this as being a superior mindset, how does that make me racist or wrong or anything? You're trying to push your own political correctness at that point at me. I will say that there's probably other societies out there where the way they view certain aspects of culture, maybe they do it differently than me, and that's where I have an appreciation for it. But I do believe that for a large amount, we have created a Judeo-Christian ethic society that has proven to be the one that's produced the highest form of success as a country in the history of this world.
Success and freedom.
Yes.
Now, that freedom, though, has been under attack. And it will continue to be that way. I'll leave you this last line from this Chronicles article. It said the 19 countries that Trump has restricted asylum from is good. He said, let's stop gambling with American lives and close our border permanently to those countries who have nothing to offer us but misery and destruction. Hard to argue with that. And that's heavy. I mean, if you think, especially from the lens that you just presented it from, ugly America, that's heavy and it sounds heavy, but it's absolutely correct.
Your political correctness will be the problem here.
100%.
If you want to buy into the idea that there are societies that are not superior to others, yeah, there are.
Yeah. I would say that the American culture is superior to the Somali culture.
I would agree.
It's hard. I mean, does somebody want to call up and argue that?
I mean, do you want me to tell you the story now or next segment that I was listening to?
Well, it's up to you. However you want to go.
All right. This will be a good prep one for this. So I was listening to Sean Ryan podcast over the weekend. He did nearly 4 hours with Mike Durant. Now, if the name, you recognize it, he was the helicopter pilot of one of the Blackhawks from Somalia, Mogadishu, Black Hawk Down. He was the one that was taken into captivity, that you saw his video on CNN and talking about how, like, killing innocent people is bad. You know, just playing that game, and eventually he ended up being released because we put forces back into the area and we told them, we will wipe out your clan soon if you do not give us back Mike Durant. And that's the reason why they did it. But he told a story. And as we talk about the broad brush, you know, I don't want to say, oh, everybody's this, but so when the helicopter went down and you had the two operators, Navy SEALs that dropped in to try and help him and help his co-pilot, when they were killed, Mike Durant was then sitting in a back area. And he told the families that, well, and he told everybody initially, well, I blacked out because I got hit with a rifle butt. Well, no, he didn't. He said, I got hit with an arm. The Somalis tore our Navy SEALs apart, limb from limb, and then beat Durant with it. So don't tell me about your superior culture or yours is on par with mine.
It's not.
Because it's hard to listen to that, and it's hard for him,
dude,
when they started talking about what's been going on in Minnesota, for him to look at it, and he didn't get political, but he was like, oh, I've got some experience.
I know. I've been there.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's gross. It's gross how these people operate.
And then if you look at the, because Ilhan Omar over the weekend talked about.
So there's a story for you to ponder.
Yeah, holy cow, dude. Beating someone with a body part. Just let that bounce around your head.
Just let that simmer for a moment, and you think about when they're stealing $1 to $8 billion, how your culture is not superior to theirs.
Ilhan Omar this weekend, though, talked about how much the Somalis provide to the American, whatever. And the numbers were completely wrong. And if you go back and look and you actually compare the numbers that are there, most of them, the overwhelming majority, are on food stamps. They're on, all sorts of SNAP benefits. You see what I mean?
And let me be clear. If you want to be part of American culture, like other groups of people have decided to be, awesome. Let's make that happen. In fact, bring it in, bring it on. But you have these enclaves of people that have zero interest in being part of American culture. In fact, their primary interest is keep their own culture, have their own society, and if they can also pilfer the money, then that's what they'll do.
Because it's from the goofy and oblivious, generous Americans.
Sure.
Our culture.
Those dummies don't know.
That's exactly. Dude, that's it. That is it right there. They're so dumb, we'll take advantage of them.
We'll just take it. And then we'll send it, as Scott Bessent was pointing out on some of the network shows. This is now money that they're tracking and looking into it and saying, these are going to what's potentially terrorist organizations.
Yeah.
It's like it's being wired. So the administration and the DOJ is now looking into, you've been taking this money, where have you been sending it?
Al-Shabaab.
Yep.
That's where.
Terrorist organization.
That's where.
Our own money. Yeah. All under Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz.
I had no idea what was going on. There's no idea. And the crazy thing about that is Tim Walz, that was being investigated in 2019 was Tim Walz was coming into office. And he was told over and over by Minnesota government employees, here's what's happening. Him and Ellison, too. I forget, what's his first name? Doesn't matter. They're in...
Keith Ellison.
Keith Ellis, thank you. Both were told, and they were like, shut your mouth, you bigot.
Yeah. Keith Ellison, again, he's the state attorney general.
Yeah.
And it was a very much a look the other way scenario.
Well, and then it's alleged that Ellison's getting kickbacks, or Ellis is getting kickbacks.
Yeah, that the discussion point has been that part of what he's been able to do is run campaigns based off of contributions of Somali money that was stolen from the American taxpayer. That's the alleged portion of this.
Shut up, you bigot. You can't.
Better not question it.
Better not call it out.
If you happen to question it, well, you're a bigot.
Yeah, and that's what they told everybody. All the whistleblowers told everyone.
Right, every single one of you.
Here's down.
And then Tim Walz, as of last week, had the nerve to tell us all, well, we're the ones who caught him. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You looked the other way.
The feds caught them.
And you looked the other way.
You were sitting back saying, hey, while we're changing our state flag too, by the way, so it looks like the Somali flag, like what kind of, it's Minnesota. And sometimes I just have to check the box. Like I'm going to Minneapolis 2 times over the next several months. And the last time I was there, yes, I could see some of the burnt out buildings. This was summer after George Floyd. To know that when you talk to people that are from there, that live here and now they're going back, they talk about, hey, it's a beautiful state. It's a great place. They're like, but the leftist politicians have ruined it.
Yeah. And threaten people left and right. And that's no different than what's happening with a couple conservative commentators. They're getting those threats the same way.
You had Tim Pool over the weekend. He's the one who hosts Timcast. And this is so wild. So he has a security team. He has to. He has gates. He has to. He said that somebody pulled up and shot at his house, which, of course, now the left turns it into like, no, there's no possible way. Well, then you had other people like the Matt Walshes of the world who stepped forward. Like, first off, I've been to his place. Yes, he has security, and he has to have this.
For good reason.
Because of this is what's going on. And I think part of this is this unending craziness that's going on when it comes to the left. They are so all consumed with social media that if you're somebody who's made your living through social media, because a lot of these people are, Matt Walsh is not with in any sort of major broadcast team.
It's Daily Wire.
Daily Wire, it's just not how it is. Same thing with Tim Pool. Timcast is basically their own creation. Those people that have done it in that way, sometimes I believe have to say things that are incendiary, and that makes the left even more crazy. Like, I don't think the left is looking to, how am I going to take out Sean Hannity? How am I going to kill Jesse Waters?
Yeah.
I don't think they look at it the same way as they look at it with the online people.
No, because the online people have much more influence.
I believe so.
I mean, when's the last time and this, I mean no disrespect to Sean Hannity. He's done well, successful.
Oh, yeah. Sean,
and I know Sports loves him. They got a great relationship, all that.
To have it all come out of here, it should be something that we look at and go like, hey, that's awesome.
There's not been an interview that Sean Hannity's done or a show that Sean Hannity's done that I've actually watched in probably 10, 15 years. But he just hadn't moved the needle, man.
No, I just know what I'm going to get.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
It's very, I don't know.
But that's part, and that,
I don't know what you call it.
In my opinion, that's very much the direction Fox News went when they decided they were going to disconnect themselves from Donald Trump. And now they're like, how do we get back in here?
Yeah. I don't know that they move the needle. Tim Pool moves the needle. Matt Walsh moves the needle. I mean, his documentary movie, What is a Woman?
What is a Woman?
Dude,
am I racist?
Yeah,
that's
that
hilarious.
Enraged the left. And that's why they're getting those threats. That's why there are people shooting at their house, because they're moving the needle. As long as you don't move the needle, you're fine.
That is why you get these very nutty people. In the case of Matt Walsh, as he pointed out, this person went to his place, then tried to go ahead and show up at Cat Turds.
Yeah.
Which we're talking like the difference in, hey, Tennessee versus Florida.
Yeah.
This guy was driving around in a similar vein that you had the crazy leftists come from California trying to take out Kavanaugh and his family.
Yeah. I mean, it's happening over and over and over again. And those guys I understand why they're concerned, as they should be. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Right now, you get 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit and up to $2,100 in rebates on a new carrier system. When we come back, you teach the history of Somalia and their crimes, they make more sense. Next on Extra.
Get the latest breaking news and insight from the biggest conservative voices in the South when you follow Extra 106.3 across all your social media platforms. Find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers. And let me give you a perspective from being just a dad, got a couple daughters. I'm not looking for more socks. All right. I don't really, maybe once or twice a year, wear ties. I look for stuff that I'm going to use that I think is pretty cool. For instance, X-Mark products from Howard Brothers. Whether you're treating yourself or if you're surprising someone else and they enjoy lawn care. Like, I like to have a lawn that looks great. Well, that's why I go over to Howard Brothers, and that's why I look into their pros and I say, hey, what's going to help me? This is where they're going to suggest to you products just like X-Mark. All year long, it's going to help you moving forward. And put it this way, if you're looking to get somebody a present, get them an X-Mark piece of equipment. Put a bow on it. Put it underneath the tree. Everyone will be happy. Visit Howard Brothers near you. The friendly folks there can help you with the best X-Mark gift for everyone that you have on your list. Merry Christmas from X-Mark and Howard Brothers.
It's the holiday season at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and we're bringing you 3 weeks of wonder. Special merchandise, special events, and very special savings all December long. This week, it's our Shy Creation pop-up. We're featuring one of our favorite designer lines of gorgeous, trendy fashion jewelry. From bold gold to petite pieces that are great for layering, whether it's huggy hoop earrings for a stocking stuffer or a diamond-studded necklace under the tree to blow her away, there's something for everybody this week. And it all leads up to a trunk show this weekend with Shy's full line of jewelry. That's hundreds of new pieces you won't see anywhere else. And of course, the savings. As part of 3 weeks of wonder, save up to 20% on all Shy Creation jewelry or take advantage of 0% APR for 18 months. So you can stock up now and pay over time. It's now through Sunday only at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. But the savings keep going all December long. Learn more at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
The holidays just got better at Jim Ellis Buick GMC. They sure did, with amazing year-end offers on Buick and GMC models.
Looking for comfort and style? Check out the Buick Enclave or Encore GX.
Need something strong and capable? The GMC Acadia, Canyon, and Sierra are ready for every holiday adventure.
And the buying experience is as smooth as the vehicles. Friendly staff, transparent pricing, and the Jim Ellis Expressway, so you can start your purchase online.
And this season, your purchase gives back in a big way, because now through January 2nd, Jim Ellis Buick GMC will donate to Must Ministries with every vehicle sold, helping provide food, shelter, and support to families across our community.
Shop great vehicles, enjoy great service, and help make the holidays brighter for someone else. Visit JimEllisBuickGMC.com.
Or shop in person, located on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter, or off Highway 20 in Buford.
Jim Ellis Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
For many of us, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing. Hair loss had me feeling like my identity was lost altogether. John Michaels here from the locker room with a solution that worked for me. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment. Advanced Hair began regrowing my hair the very next day, and after just one visit. I had been aware of all the pills and lotions that came with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you already have, but I wanted to regrow my hair in specific areas permanently. From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Regrowing my hair with Advanced Hair has been truly life-changing, and for you, it starts with a free consultation. Call now, 872-217-HAIR, mention John Michaels, and you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's 872-217-HAIR or AdvancedHair.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog and our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, December 8th. U.S. immigration officials are opening a new vetting center in Atlanta to boost national security. The facility will use advanced screening and AI to review immigration applications and identify potential threats. USCIS says the center will speed up coordination with federal agencies and strengthen public safety. A new case of chronic wasting disease, often called zombie deer disease, has been confirmed in Atkinson County in southeast Georgia. State officials say it's the 9th infected deer found in Georgia. The disease is always fatal to deer, and wildlife experts warn hunters not to consume any animal that appears to be infected. And Atlanta has been ranked the number 4 most fun city in America. A new Wallet Hub study looked at entertainment, nightlife, dining, and recreation in more than 180 cities. Atlanta scored high for festivals, restaurants, clubs, parks, and affordable activities for both residents and visitors. Today's weather mostly cloudy with a high of 51 degrees. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
I told you he joined Al Qaeda. You didn't want to believe me.
That's right.
I told you last week.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset. I mean, if you've kept up with Zach Brown Band at all, nothing that was at the Sphere should be shocking to you.
What was at the Sphere, Tug?
Yeah, they it was being called by some. Other people said it was the greatest show they were seen. Some people were saying it was demonic.
Some people say it's the greatest ever.
Yeah, some people have said demonic. But yeah, it was just lots of skeletons and fire. I mean, it's what the Sphere is. U2 was very similar in the fact lots of fire, lots of explosions.
Portal to hell. They're opening it up.
That's what they're
just like that CERN over in Europe.
That's right.
So
Al Qaeda's a portal to hell.
The one over there in Europe, I believe that's a real thing. If you ever watch that opening ceremony, Los, I know you've had to see this.
What is it? What is it again?
So CERN over in Europe is the largest man-made machine on Earth, and it's where they slam atoms into each other, molecules. They're trying to build the God particle or whatever they're doing over there. Well, they had this opening ceremony, and this is back in, I want to say 2016, where they have all of the scientists, right? The actual people doing the lab work and all of these experiments, and they are dressed up. They make Zach Brown look like, Sunday morning going to Easter service. Right. I mean, they are dressed up in some weird stuff and doing this crazy ritual with tunneling into the mountain. It's bizarre.
That's crazy.
Los, have you ever seen that?
I haven't. But
this is your next rabbit hole. I'll send you some stuff.
Thank you. Yes.
It's your next rabbit hole.
I don't even have to look it up on my own. I get Jerry's like, I'm going to send this to you. All right, thank you.
I'll deliver it
If
right
it's
away.
on a YouTube link, Jerry, I'll watch it on the way home.
This is strong.
Yeah, this is strong, he says.
I will be unlike Tug, who just like lets your links just sit by.
That's not always true.
I'll stare at it on 400.
Seriously, as I'm driving.
It'd be so dangerous.
I mean, I don't look at the phone. I just have it linked through my Bluetooth so I can hear it.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I always say.
Exactly.
That's the way I get away with it, or at least I justify it anyway. I don't see it.
I normally watch a whole lot of stuff in car line. If I'm picking up and I'm in car line,
because you have to be there so early.
I've got a half hour to 45 minutes, so yeah, I watch a lot of stuff, or I do a lot of show prep.
Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. So as we get to some of that, we'll share it with you, because I have a feeling if this is as good as Jeray's presenting, and I have no doubt that it is, there may be a story time that will just bubble up out of nowhere.
And Tug is very interested in the occult.
Yes, I am.
Satan.
It's my
and Zach Brown band.
Well, but here's the thing: I am very interested on how to stay away from it. So,
okay.
So if you can help me like understand what I'm seeing, and I can avoid it, dude, I feel like I've won the day.
In my left hand is Jesus, and my right hand is the occult.
Yeah.
Which one would you like to pick?
Yeah, I'm choosing the right hand, but I would like
Fooled
to...
you!
No! Dang it!
Oh, he thought he was picking Jesus.
The whole time he wasn't. So Tom Holman, because we got a little bit into this in the previous segment, Los, just the Somalis and some of the less than... I don't know what you'd call it. The less than human-like
behavior.
Yes, some of the things that they do. I mean, you gave the story that Sean Ryan had brought up on his podcast.
With Mike Durant from their time in Mogadishu and what had gone on while he was captive there.
Obviously, that's an extreme.
That is an extreme.
I'm not saying that's every day, but I'm not saying it's not either.
That was a clan that was basically creating genocide through starvation.
And then take a look at what's happening in Minnesota and the fact that they're like, well, it's just part of our stealing. It's just part of our culture. We had a person go on the news, national. I think it was CNN. It was just like, it's part of our culture.
And so Tom Homan, and he goes on the network shows, and I just enjoy that he's very matter of fact. In the same way, you can always go back and find it on YouTube when AOC is trying to grill him, in front of Congress, in front of a committee, and she's extolling the virtues of these people that are here illegally. And he's like, that's fine. They're here illegally. And, well, they're separating children from their families. It's like, we separate anyone from their family who commits a crime.
That's right.
It's like just very direct, very simple. If Tug Coward's in the car with his son and Tug gets in some sort of speeding ticket, well, then they get to stay together.
But if I'm transporting a kilo of cocaine,
then they get separated.
You get separated.
You're suddenly separated from your. Again, this is simple stuff. So this is Tom Homan, as now you have people that are, as far as network television analysts, that are upset that, well, ICE is now going to operate in Minneapolis. So if you're here legally, we don't have a problem, right? I mean, do you realize they're detaining American citizens? Yeah. You verify your status, but show ID. That's all. There was a woman, I think it was in Pennsylvania, where she got detained. She's crying and screaming her eyes out.
I'm
and
an
all
American
that.
citizen.
And yeah, okay, good, you are. But your car that you're driving is registered to your boyfriend who's not here legally, and they pulled it over because the car is registered to a man who's not here legally. Yeah, that's how you went. Show your ID.
Yeah, you
move
could have
along.
fixed it. You could have fixed that immediately.
Not a problem. So, but this is Tom Homan now having to explain what's having to go on as far as the history of Somalia and what they're having to do when it comes to their organization.
Minneapolis, the city, a councilman there in particular, Jamal Osman, who was born in Somalia, told CNN that, quote, Somali citizens have been stopped on the street, asked to provide documentation, and that he never thought he'd have to tell people to carry their passports around because they look Somali. Are ICE agents stopping people because they look, quote unquote, Somali?
No, they're not. The law requires agents are trained in Fourth Amendment training every 6 months. Border Patrol's trained in Fourth Amendment training. They stop. You can detain and question people for a short period of time based on reasonable suspicion. That's
and what is that suspicion?
Federal statute.
Is it based on how they look?
No, their appearance alone can't raise reasonable suspicion. It's articulable facts, a lot of different facts taken into consideration. And the Supreme Court just backed the Trump administration up on this. I know a lot of the media says, the Supreme Court just justified racial profiling. That's not what the Supreme Court said. Supreme Court said they agree with the way these operations are being conducted because the standard of reasonable suspicion is being used by both ICE and the Border Patrol in the interior operations.
All right, so I have a question for you.
All right.
Do dumb people do dumb things?
I would contend the answer is yes.
I used to love the former football coach, Bill Parcells, and he always had this saying, and it's always stuck with me. He's like, dumb players do dumb things. Smart players do fewer dumb things.
Yeah, because they all do dumb things.
Not as many.
Not the same rate.
Just not as many, right? Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I don't care how intelligent you are. At some point, we've all done something dumb.
Gosh.
Oh, man, that was dumb. I can't
I'm a reasonably smart guy. I do dumb stuff all the time. And then when I reflect on it, I'm like, oh, my God,
that was dumb. I can't believe I did that. Yeah. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Well, also, dumb people in general do more dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Well, how about these numbers from 2023? And again, these are just numbers. You can take for it what you want. The average Somali IQ is 67.9, which is 180th in the world.
Wow.
So when you're wondering,
people do dumb things.
So when you're talking about taking $1 billion to perhaps $8 billion of our money, that's actual. Now, is that they're getting over on us? Yeah.
I would say a dumb person doesn't do that.
No, but there was enough people that committed something dumb. You're stealing money. Now you have to go home.
That's right.
And that's Tom Homan's entire bit. It's like exactly dumb people do dumb stuff, and now because you did something dumb, you got to go home.
And Tim Walz did something dumb. And Keith Ellis did something dumb because they turned a blind eye to it. And they deserve to have the punishment, knowing full and well the whistleblowers that came to them and said, here's what's happening. Y'all need to take a look at it. And they refused. They called them names. They said, you're bigoted, you're racist for even pointing this out. And now, all of a sudden, those dumb people deserve the consequences they're getting. They deserve the scrutiny they're getting. And it's funny to me, the timing on, the New York Times. They waited 6 months before they ever did anything with that story. And now, all of a sudden, when they feel like the coast is clear, they're like, yeah, we're going to publish this article that will show what we knew 6 months ago and decided not to say anything about.
All right, so you want some more factual information that is sometimes it's just too hard to listen to good, hard, straight facts. So remember, on average, from Somalia, 67.9. If you want to call it 68, that's fine.
Fine.
Do you know that we've actually had a Supreme Court case, Atkins versus Virginia in 2002, that ruled on whether or not you can have too low of an IQ in order to face the death penalty?
That actually doesn't surprise me in some...
that
you're mentally not capable of understanding what you've done or what you've been a part of.
The average Somali IQ would make them unable to face the death penalty as a mentally disabled person in this country.
We're not trying to give them the death penalty, though.
No.
No, but that's my point. We're just trying to send them home. They're capable of that.
I'm just pointing out that on average, the people who've shown up here, on average, just by numbers, on average... If you're telling me dumb people do dumb things, then you got to send them home because they came here and they act just as dumb.
That's right. And they're a net drain on American society.
Correct.
So put those two together.
Dumb people do dumb stuff.
Well, yes, but it just means it's time to go home.
You had your chance.
Yeah, that's right. We even gave you your chance and you blew it.
And to think, I had some audio, and I don't know if we're even going to be able to get to it, but there was a man who is of Vietnamese descent. And he was talking about how many people are here. Yeah, how many people here are of Vietnamese descent who came over during the fall of Saigon, and the amount of children that were flown here. And as he was pointing out, he's like, we're not asking society to change for us. It's like, we change to it. And that's largely what's gone on with many Asian cultures. The Chinese that showed up here, the Japanese that are here, and again, obviously, even the Vietnamese.
And Korean.
These people have never sat back like, yes, they have their own communities, but they've never been like, hey, make sure you speak Japanese.
You have to
do this for me.
That's right.
Like, that has never been the way that those groups have adjusted within our American society. Call it the melting pot, whatever you want to call it. But they said there is a standard by which Americans live, and if I want to be here, here's how it's going to be. I am taking part in the civil society. If you steal $1 billion to $8 billion, you're not taking part in the civil society.
No, you're stealing.
Yes, you have to go home.
You're not a net drain. Like the people that you brought up, the examples you made of the Vietnamese man. I think this morning I saw even Elon Musk has quote tweeted him.
Awesome.
Yeah, and said, this is the way right here. Not a net drain.
This is the way.
Yeah, not a net drain and a net drain. Choose.
I know that doesn't make any sense to you, but it's pretty cool.
What?
It's from The Mandalorian. It's a Star Wars thing.
Okay, this is the way.
This is the way.
But it just makes sense logically, too.
The idea is you're living by a code.
Yeah.
This is the way.
I love it.
It's here. If you want to be part of the civil society, part of America, this is the way.
To get it done. This is the way to do it. I love it. When we come back on Extra 106.3, the next trigger for the violent left on Extra 106.3 and the Morning Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, December 8th. The college football playoffs are now set. The SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs are officially the 3 seed overall, and they will enjoy a bye week before waiting the winner of Tulane and Ole Miss. Georgia will next play on January 1st in the Sugar Bowl. Playoff snub Notre Dame, they've decided to not take part in bowl season this year. The Falcons, they're now just 4-9 after a 37-9 loss at home to the Seattle Seahawks. And Monday Night Football ends Week 14 in the NFL tonight as the 8-4 Philadelphia Eagles are in Los Angeles to play the 8-4 Chargers. That kickoff is set for 8:15. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Let's say you go over to Motor Cars of Atlanta where we do our big casino night. We just did it last month. So awesome, so much fun. And you bought one of those incredible cars that sit on the showroom floor. I mean, these things are as expensive as somebody's house. These things are unbelievable. But you rolled off of there, you've been driving it, and it's time to replace the tires. And you're like, give me the cheapest set of tires you got. Of course you wouldn't do that. That doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't settle. And you shouldn't settle for cheap siding either. They only, at Southern Exteriors, they only install the best siding, James Hardy, and they install it right. They are an elite certified, which means they follow every nail, seam, and panel to Hardy's exact specs. That's why your siding qualifies for a full 30-year warranty, because even the number one siding brand, it can have, defects. It can have warping, cracking, leaks if it's installed wrong. Southern Exteriors, when they install it, your siding will stay strong. It's stunning and built to withstand the extreme heat in Atlanta or the really cold weather that we're in right now. James Hardy Siding trusts Southern Exteriors. I think you should too. And you can learn more about them. Get a quote. Get a job started. 8779 southernexteriors.co, southernexteriors.co.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Mike Plant, President and CEO of the Braves Development Company.
I think back about 2003 when I started with the Braves, and I just knew we had to create a destination that people wanted to come to year-round. We had a blank canvas, and I think we had a pretty good feel for what would be a year-round destination, mixed-use development, lifestyle center, all those. Fortunately, we have this incredible relationship long-term with Georgia Power. Right away, they saw our vision, they got our vision, they understood it, and they knew they needed to be a big part of that. So we're running our daily operation at the same time we're building this massive infrastructure and mixed-use development and the ballpark all at the same time.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit georgiapower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
Atlanta Braves single game tickets for the 2026 season are now on sale. Get your tickets for some exciting matchups next season and check out some fan favorite ticket packages like Hello Kitty, SpongeBob, Snoopy, and Father's Day Catch on the Field. Plus, snag the first giveaway of the season, the Drake Baldwin Rookie of the Year bobblehead on March 31st, presented by Coca-Cola. Visit Braves.com/promos to get your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball, we are Braves country.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the honest car guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
We found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee. We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or honestcarguy.com.
Thousands of veterans across Georgia are missing out on the benefits they've earned through their service. The Warrior Alliance is changing that by connecting veterans and their families to life-changing resources and support. Tune into the Warrior Alliance Network, our podcast and radio show dedicated to helping veterans succeed after service. Join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. on 106.3 to hear inspiring veteran stories, discover free programs, and learn about career opportunities available to you. Subscribe to the Warrior Alliance YouTube channel today.
Ho, ho, holy cow. Family and friends are coming for the holidays, and you need some projects done around the house before they arrive. Relax. We've got you covered. Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia from the Trusted Toolbox. With our Handyman for a Day deal, we can knock out all those projects you've been putting off for months. From plumbing issues and painting to flooring, fencing, trim work, and much, much more. So get your home ready for the holidays and call us at 770-623-3097, or you can always book it online at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Georgia politicians, if you want to win your election, the path to victory runs through Extra 106.3. Extra listeners are some of the most engaged, active in their communities, and outspoken on their beliefs, especially when it comes time to vote. So now's the time to get involved before our listeners move on to someone else. Tell the candidate you're voting for that if they want to win, the path to victory runs through Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. You can find Front Office Los at Front Office Los. At Whiskey Click for Dre. You can find me at Tug Coward. Easy to get a hold of us. Social media or on the phones. And easy to listen to the show, too. It's always available there on the Extra 106.3 app right after the segments and the show is done. So we've seen violence. We talked about violence in that last segment going against people like Matt Walsh and Tim Pool. It isn't going to stop anytime soon. As a matter of fact, it might accelerate, Los.
Yeah, considering that one of the pillars of power is birthright citizenship. That if you want to know where the fight's been, and we saw how violent that the left was willing to get when Roe versus Wade was kicked back to the states, as it should have been.
Yeah.
There was no precedent in American history where we founded this country with abortion as being one of the tenets of it. So it was always going to go back to the states and let states decide. But yet, then you saw the amount of violence that kicked in. Well, imagine what happens if we have a ruling from the Supreme Court where people that have anchor babies, people that show up and have a child here, suddenly have a citizen. If that goes away, you know, outside of illegal immigration, like that's one of the aspects that Democrats have fought for the better part of 30 or 40 years.
The dam just explodes.
Can you imagine the amount of people suddenly that, if you just want to say you're trying to keep people from the inducements to come here, well, you're not going to get Social Security number. You're not going to get health care taken care of. You're not going to get any more of our money. You're also not going to get citizenship.
What's the point?
You can't vote.
Yeah, what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah. Well,
come do it the right way.
Yeah,
if you do it the right way, you can get all these. All of them.
That's right. But let me tell you, that's not part of the Democrat plan. That's not part of the Democrat process, and that's why you're right about this, dude. They are going to lose their ass over it.
Well, you know, one of the jokes that's always out there, like with certain groups, it's like, well, you can't breed, so you got to recruit. Well, it's really hard to be part of American society and then go as far left as these people have. That's oftentimes when you say recruit, well, they got to put them in the university system, got to put them in the school system. People come out as made by your creator, yearning for freedom. That's the whole idea of free will.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, the Democrats have to recruit and train you to think in this certain way. Well, what happens when it's, hey, you better vote for us because the only reason you're here is because of what we allowed you to do. You came across, we gave you citizenship. we gave you a living, or you had a kid here. There's a reason why you get to stay.
Yeah, that's why you owe me your vote.
That's why you owe me your vote.
It's funny, Piers Morgan said this over the weekend. He said, I have nothing in common with the left. He said, I'm a liberal, and I have nothing in common with the left. None of the things that they do add up. None of the things that they do follow the Constitution. When he's talking about the United States, because he's not from here. But I found that fascinating that he would say that, because I feel like there's a lot of people. I mean, Bill Maher, we bring up, he's the obvious. We bring up a lot. And there's so many people that are more liberal than maybe you and I are, that still see the value in America. They still see the value in assimilating or coming here and doing better. Yet, most of the Democrat Party doesn't feel that way at all about America.
All right, so I actually forgot about this until just this very moment. So I was having, this wasn't me. This was after several drinks, the conversation.
Doesn't it always start like that? We're having some drinks, and then it happens.
Having some drinks, and then somebody decides they're going to, they want to jump in the cage, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's see what this bear's got.
Yeah, right.
See, this bear has real claws, real teeth.
Right.
And I slay him with a smile, okay? And so the joke that we were talking about with this one particular person I know, I was saying how you and I agree on probably about 80% of stuff. I was like, this is how we view things. You and I probably agree on a lot. I was like, but there's going to be some aspects that you and I will not agree. I was like, but I bet I can pretzel you on them. And I brought up, I was like, well, on gun control. And, well, I don't think there should be automatic weapons. And I was like, well, there's not.
Yeah, right. First of all.
I was like, first of all, there's no such thing as, if the reason why you had bump stocks is people believe like, oh, now it acts more like an automatic weapon, but it's wildly inaccurate. Mm-hmm. Anyone who is any kind of shooter or quality shooter doesn't want a bump stock. And yeah, we have semi-automatic weapons. That's not an automatic weapon. And I said, okay, if we can agree that there are no automatic weapons, I was like, can we both agree on that? Well, okay. All right, great. I also don't think trans people should own guns.
And then they
go
silent.
Here's the pretzel.
Yeah.
And so as I'm pointing this out, it now becomes that's an infringement on their rights. And I was like, but there's
mentally unstable people.
And I forgot to mention, I did say, and I also don't believe that anyone who is suffering from a mental illness or is on any sort of medication, an SSRI or anything along those lines, should also have a very long look at whether or not that person should own a firearm. Would you agree? Yeah, I agree. Okay. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, but because that's
so we can both agree that we shouldn't have automatic weapons. We can both agree there. I have no need now. Do I want one? Yeah. Am I cool with the fact that it's semi-automatic? Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, as fast as
I'm
you pull
good.
the trigger.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
if you need to.
It's far more accurate.
Yeah.
There's a reason why our servicemen and women, when they're in the field, they're shooting semi-automatic weapons, with the exception of whoever the machine gunner is.
That's right.
And that is make sure they keep their heads down while you fire. The rest of you work semi-automatic and you work as a group. If that's good enough for our military, it's good enough for me. But that was the point. And so, like as they didn't get violent.
They're going to accuse you of entrapment.
But that's the pretzel moment. And so now it comes down to, well, I don't think people should be doing, and you start laying out X, Y, and Z, and by the time you get to, and I don't think you should be able to show up in this country and just have a kid, and that's a citizen. And that is where the game reveals itself of you're stepping on one of their pillars of power.
But I bet Piers Morgan would feel that way too.
Sure.
He would say the exact same thing you just said. But and the way you laid it out early was we probably agree on 80% of things.
Sure.
Maybe it's only 60%. But the foundational, the fundamental elements that are important to America and American culture, we all agree on.
Well, the difference in me and a old school Democrat or a classic liberal like Bill Maher are not significant. It's the far left, which doesn't believe in the foundation of the country.
Yeah.
Once you've drifted so far as to believe, well, we're living on stolen land, well, then you're trying to create illegitimacy to everything, which I would tell you all land's conquered.
Conquered, without a doubt.
It's stolen. No, it's conquered, baby.
every
piece of property in this world is conquered
by somebody.
Yes.
That's right.
Didn't belong to you. Here it is. Conquered. That's the mayor of Reelsville giving you the direct answer. But when it comes to this birthright citizenship, you can lay it out as much as you want. The Democrats of the anti-American party are going to say, it's written in the Constitution. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's an amendment, and it was there for those that were slaves during the Civil War to have immediate citizenship in this country. It was never crafted by the writers to give citizenship to anyone who's visiting or anyone who passes through.
Which is the same reason that, like, an ambassador can't have a kid here and it be a citizen. That was the same exact thing.
That was expressly pointed out by both the Michigan and Ohio congressmen who are responsible for writing it, that an ambassador cannot have a child here and that child's a citizen.
This is people we have a direct relationship with. Can you imagine the founding fathers going, wait a minute, we're not going to let them, but we're just going to let just random, Joe Schmo? No way. When we continue on Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. Senator Eric Schmidt lets a leftist journalist have it. And he did it on that guy's own show. And I mean, took a blowtorch to his face. Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, I know that most of you don't read the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, so let me help you out here with a little piece in the Sunday paper written by Mayor Andre Dickens called Atlanta Has a Moral Imperative to Fix City's Inequality. And in that article, he said that systemic poverty in America is primarily a problem of place. And he went on to detail about children born in Atlanta's distressed neighborhoods. 20% chance of being born below a healthy weight, 80% chance of entering 5th grade without basic reading, 1% chance of becoming a high-income earner, only 1%, 20 fewer years, and somebody born just a few miles away. Let me cut to the chase here. Andre Dickens would have us believe, if you read his article in the AJC, that it's all about needing to spend more money in these neighborhoods. Neighborhood reinvestments, creating a fairness of place so that every child in Atlanta, regardless of zip code, has access to safe streets, etc. What a load of BS, nonsense. Here's what Andre Dickens did not say. All of these distressed neighborhoods that are poor, where the children don't perform, where the streets aren't safe, they have something in common that the mayor of Atlanta just cannot bring himself to acknowledge, let alone talk about. These neighborhoods are full of children who are raised without fathers. You want a reason why they can't read? You want a reason why the streets aren't safe? Thousands of kids being raised by single mothers, no fathers. But oh my God, you can't acknowledge that. It has to be about systemic something. As long as we have leaders that refuse to recognize the problem persists. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Oh no, what is that sound?
It's our rejection detection system. It's showing that several men across Georgia are being denied intimacy by their partners due to ED.
How can this be?
Well, it's more common than you think. As men age, their bodies change. And unfortunately, once they get over 50, some things don't work like they used to.
So what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. We need to get them to Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He can fix ED problems.
But how?
At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, they are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimex to create an erection and more.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? Guys, it won't get better on its own. When it's not hard, it's really hard. But I can help you today. Call us at Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-8255 1911 or learn more about us online at tbtofga.com.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
He hasn't even read it. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News. President Trump says last he'd heard Ukraine's President Zelensky has not read his proposal for peace with Russia and isn't ready for it. Zelensky's meeting with European leaders today.
As these peace talks really drag on here, the Ukrainian president is in London to talk with ally leaders about strengthening his military and strengthening Ukraine's defense. He will sit down with the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and the French president and also the German chancellor in a way really to strengthen his negotiating position here, since they too find Russia's demands to control eastern Ukraine to be way too unacceptable. This comes amid new comments from the president's son, Don Jr., suggesting that it is possible that Trump could walk away.
Fox's Aisha Hosni at the White House. President Trump today plans to announce a $12 billion aid package for farmers affected by the trade war started by putting more tariffs in place, and says he has options if the Supreme Court rules he's overstepped his authority with those tariffs.
There are other routes we can go, but it won't give you the same pure national security as this one. This one is swift and very powerful.
The president there on the red carpet before the Kennedy Center honors in D.C. also saying Netflix purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery could be a problem, and he'll be involved in the approval process. He posted this morning on Truth Social that he'll sign an executive order this week for one rule book covering artificial intelligence instead of 50 states having their own. Thousands of people have fled the area near the Thailand-Cambodia border. Here's Fox's Marianne Rafferty.
Thailand launched airstrikes against Cambodia. This new wave of fighting comes just months after the two sides agreed to pause fighting in a peace plan brokered by President Trump. But that pact was suspended earlier this month between the Southeast Asian neighbors. Thailand says this new attack is in retaliation for a deadly Cambodian strike on Monday.
A soldier was killed. The movie One Battle After Another has the most Golden Globe nominations with 9. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes. Heroes like Josh Bischoff. Josh began his firefighting career as a volunteer and ultimately became CAL FIRE's Assistant Chief of Tactical Air Operations until tragedy struck and he was killed in a helicopter collision while fighting a California wildfire. He leaves behind his wife Cheryl and their 2 children, Derek and Juliana. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation paid the Bischoff family's mortgage. Support heroes like Josh and their families. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Extra 106.3 and Fox are red. CNN and CBS are blue. If you want conservative news and talk, we have just the app for you. Search for the Extra app wherever you download apps.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
Well, it's out there.
You've done it. You've done it. Do you want to share with?
So I was trying to explain to, as much as we've had like a lot of success in terms of, hey, Georgia Tech had a great season. Georgia obviously in the playoffs, 3 seed. We've got a whole month more of like great football to watch around here, except for the Falcons.
Yeah, you go from winning, Georgia winning the SEC championship in incredible fashion, to the next day, my son went with his buds to the game, and all I was like, hey, how's the game? Falcons suck.
They got beat 37-9 on your home field. Now, granted, Seattle along with the LA Rams are the 2 favorites out of the NFC to go to the Super Bowl.
I know that's correct. I know that's correct.
Right.
But it's embarrassing to have more Seattle fans in the building than Falcon fans, and it's that way every week.
I would also point out that when you play a 6-6 ball game and you give up another long return for a touchdown to open up the half, and you give away 31 points, and you manage only 3 more to get beat 37-9, it's embarrassing.
Heads need to roll, right?
Well, all the fandom is wondering, like, why is Raheem Morris still employed? What's going on there? Terry Fontenot, remember, most general managers in the NFL They get 2 hires. This is hire number 2. Now, if you want to tell me that he wanted to go a different direction and ownership and Rich McKay and whoever else decided they wanted Raheem Morris, then you're telling me you've cut off your general manager at the knees. But let's just say this. Instead, they decided of going with Bill Belichick because he was going to clean house. They decided let's keep everybody in play here. Well, the general manager has now had his 2 hires, and he also doesn't have a first-round pick next year. As I was pointing out, Arthur Blank got politically active in 2008 around Barack Obama. That's when he suddenly started donating, and he started getting much more active. He's donated to BLM. He's donated to other progressive groups. And so just keep in mind, that's his social circle. Last year, he donated $4.4 million to Democrats, Kamala Harris, and everyone else. He has now spent $12.2 million since 2008 on Democrat policy progressives. Being that you know how leftists think, and you know what pride they take in their minorities and their minority hires and everything else. Look how we're paying attention.
Look how progressive we are.
What was it that Joe Biden told us? My group looks like America. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find the best people. You now have a head coach that with anyone with 3 years of experience, no one has a worse winning percentage or worse record in this league than Raheem Morris. He's now done this in 2 different places. You now have a general manager who gave $100 million to Kirk Cousins, and you don't have a first-round pick. The only reason why they're still employed is because Atlanta has the only general manager head coach combo in this league that are minorities.
And politics dictate, politics rule.
Politics rules.
Aunt Peg would have told me this is the right decision. She would tell me, she would say this is the right decision. Well, we're getting our tails kicked. Every game doesn't matter.
Getting your head kicked in. You got your head kicked in by 30 on your home field. If there was a time where head's supposed to roll, it's supposed to be today.
Right now. Guess what's not happening?
Right.
Not going to happen.
Because within Arthur Blank's social circles, I believe that he does not want the smoke that comes along with this. Because in those social circles, they don't care about you winning or losing. You know what they care about? What's the value of the team and the politics?
Yeah, right.
If leftists cared about winning, they would change their politics.
They would never, but they wouldn't. They're so married to them. Yeah. And the people that he hangs out with know nothing about football and don't care to know nothing about football.
By the way, some joker pointed out on X, I know something but won't say it, is the genius S a man can do. I responded back and I said, rookies say it hours before the show. Like, that's called a tease.
Yes, that's right.
And then I had you listening.
Yeah, that's right.
And I had you paying attention.
And now you know the answer.
That's a pro move, brother. That's how the pros do it.
Welcome.
You're welcome. You just got some good instructions on how this stuff works.
This is what we teach the interns when they come in.
Yes. I was like, it's like when we have somebody who starts explaining something for the show and I go, package! Like, there's nobody listening.
That's right.
Why are you talking about it right now?
Yeah, right.
Just stop. So, anyway, so that's the political end of what's going on here in Atlanta.
And the truth.
The truth.
And the truth. Yeah, argue it. Yeah, give me some reason that it's not true.
I just can't wait. As my friend Buck Blue pointed out, I've been telling the truth for years. I'm like, see if you're going to do it the way I did it.
How much truth are you willing to share?
You want to go down this? Who else wants to go down this road?
I'm just not sure they're willing to share all.
You know why Los doesn't get to do the Sunday shows anymore?
Yeah, that's right. Why was he exiled?
You know why I'm not allowed to do Sunday TV anymore?
He was exiled to Extra, but we're glad to have him.
So much fun.
And I know you are too.
Something very free about free will and free speech.
Right. And we've defended, not even defended, that's not the right way to say it. We have credited Dickey Broadcasting many times for never once walking in saying you must say this or you can't say that. Ever.
If you wondered why.
Autonomy is very nice.
We talked about this during the Biden administration. We're like, Karine Jean-Pierre was not good at what she was doing. And by the way, what did Barack Obama, Joe Biden call her over the weekend? Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem.
It's like, you mean Karine Jean-Pierre? Yes. Okay, whatever.
I know who you're talking about.
Fine, that's fine.
Yeah.
But for him to have basically alibied because she was able to say, well, I am the first black lesbian, but you're not good at your job.
But it doesn't matter.
But it didn't matter. It was checking a box.
Look, I'm breaking barriers.
We have a justice sitting in the Supreme Court that asks more questions and talks more than anyone because she doesn't fundamentally understand cases. And that's not me saying it. No. Those are colleagues saying it.
And not just the conservative justices.
No, the Democrats say it as well. They're like, I don't think she has a fundamental understanding of what we're talking about here.
And there's been those times when you can just see their faces when she's speaking in circles and they're looking at her like, oh my God.
Pete Buttigieg was perhaps the worst commerce secretary we possibly could have had in terms of the amount of money spent and the lack of results. Remember, this is a guy who was talking about how bridges were racist.
Yeah.
But what was he? He's gay. So here's the deflector.
He's got that chess piece.
He's got the minority aspect going. So if you don't think that that also applies to your local sports.
It applies to everything.
Everything in their world. In my world, it's are you good at it or are you not?
Yeah.
And that's all I care about. That's the cool part about athletic competition. You then start to recognize that, yeah, can politics play a role? Sure. But what it really comes down to is, do you produce or you don't? The meritocracy is alive and well in some places.
I brought up a couple of the Georgia wide receivers that I find so much fun to watch because they're so incredibly talented. You know what never, ever got brought up? What color they are they gay or straight? None of that.
No.
I just said,
produce
wow,
or not.
Wow, that dude's so much fun to watch.
That's all. Produce or not.
It's really easy.
The meritocracy is live, but it's not live everywhere. And that includes with the team that you have here. If it was about results, 4-9, having an empty building and losing by nearly 30.
Yeah.
The building was, I'm sure your son pointed out.
Dude, I'm telling you, he said, this is awful. He was like, you know what? The hot dogs were cheap, though. I got a good deal on hot dog. My team got their head kicked in their own building with more fans of the other team, but I got a $2 hot dog. Everybody's happy.
So we have a friend of ours that works down the hall, and he's part of not just the broadcast team, but he also is an important part of when we run any of our promotions. He ended up putting out a video before kickoff of our station tailgate, like, hey, we're all set up. I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know what time it was, but I was looking around going, our tailgates are packed. Like for SEC championship game, packed.
Georgia Tech,
packed.
Because I went down to that one.
Falcons one, wasn't.
What? Because what's the purpose?
What's the purpose? What's the point?
What are you going to the stadium for? $2 hot dogs? You can just save yourself a trip and an hour drive each way or an hour Marta trip. Just buy your own hot dog at home. And let's say it's $4. You still,
I still came out ahead.
Of course,
I
because you
still won.
saved yourself the full day.
And it won't change. And
until the politics change or the ownership changes.
Oh, the owner.
Neither of those are happening.
The owner at some point is going to have to abandon this mentality, this political mentality of it's not about merit. It's about how it looks. Well, I would prefer it to be about merit because then it'll look better on the field.
I was going to say because it doesn't look good.
No.
You need to abandon it right now. You should be abandoning it this morning and saying, we got to fix this because the rest of the league runs on meritocracy.
Yes. Anyone else who's good at what they do, it just comes down to, is this a good coach or not?
That's right.
And that's all.
Yep.
Is this person good at quarterbacking or no? Is this person good at general managing or no? And that's all.
And when I look at the Falcons, no is the answer to every single one of those questions.
And
none of them are good at any of their jobs.
And I get it. This is also where things have changed. This is an owner that this is the first time he's ever hired a minority as the head coach in a town that's predominantly black as far as the amount of people we have here. It's here, it's D.C., and so it matters. But it's not supposed to when you are...
Not on the field. It's supposed to meritocracy. I don't care I don't care that the quarterback looks like me.
No, but...
I want the quarterback to win.
But let's face it. You're going to have a part of your fan base that is going to give somebody the benefit of the doubt because they're going to say, okay, this is what you decided to hire. You know what? Let's see. But they're also the quickest.
But we're seeing.
They're the quickest to bail.
Yeah.
Because,
and I understand. Why would you spend the money to go see that?
Because while certain people might be in an office saying, like, well, I don't want to criticize the black coach, the black community is like, this guy's dog S.
Yeah,
they'll bail on it quicker because they feel free to do it. Arthur Blank can't do any of this stuff yet.
Well, we'll see if he can get there. But something tells me the answer will be no. Where do you see the foul? Do you think that Raheem Morris will be the coach next year? Because if he is, that is such an indictment on Arthur Blank.
I would say no, but
there's a big but.
If you're going to fire the head coach, you have to fire the GM too.
Oh, sure.
And the reason why, the trend has been you end up with the top coaches You hire them, they bring along their own general manager.
That's right.
In the same way we're seeing this in college football, you hire the coach says, here's the person who's going to handle the GM portion of my program. Like one of the guys that was out there, Reggie McKenzie. Reggie McKenzie had a pretty good run as a general manager in the NFL, player personnel, everything else. Him and his twin brother, guys that were playing in the league for a long time. By the time he was fired with the Raiders, it wasn't so much because, you didn't perform well. It's because they had the chance to hire John Gruden, and John Gruden was going to bring in his own guy. And that's kind of how it works. Kyle Shanahan, when he left the Falcons, he's the one who hired John Lynch. He's like, I'm going to the 49ers, but I'm bringing my own GM, and he's going to be the guy who's helping me. So if you're going to do it, and it's a coach worth having, then the general manager goes too. And I don't think Arthur Blank wants to be in the business of getting rid of the only minority combo in the NFL.
Is the politics bigger than the success on the field? We'll find out.
Well, we're going to find out.
I mean, it's got, how many more weeks are there?
We only have 4 games left.
We have 4 games, so yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah. Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3. Let's talk about Eric Schmidt and the fact that he took a blowtorch to George Stephanopoulos' face, and everything he said was dead on, and we've talked about it a million times.
I love this. He's on ABC this week, and it's George Stephanopoulos' show, and Eric Schmidt proceeds to basically just go, all of your narratives, I'm going to blow them all up right now on your show and put it all in your face.
In the Senate. And Senator, let me just begin where we left off with Congressman Smith. Do you support this pardon of the former Honduran president?
I'm not familiar with the facts or circumstances, but I think what's telling here is to try to imply that somehow President Trump is soft on drug smuggling is just ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. He's provided border security like we've never seen before. And the fact is, these cartels now, because the southern border is closed, they've gone to the high seas. So President Trump is acting with his core Article 2 powers. No serious legal expert would doubt that the president has authority to blow narco terrorists out of the water who are poisoning 100,000 Americans every year. If you watch the SEC championship game yesterday, the Big Ten championship game, combine those two stadiums with the number of people there, that's how many people are dying each and every year from the poison that's coming from these narco terrorists. So the fact is, George, President Trump has been delegated the authority by Congress to designate terrorist organizations. He's done that. He sent a letter to Congress saying he was going to initiate these strikes. We've had regular briefings about it, including from Secretary of State Rubio, including from the high-ranking officials in the Department of Defense. He's executing those. And so now what we have now are Democrats who have such X-ray vision and clairvoyance that they know the intentions of narco terrorists on boats, yet we're so blind to see that they had a president for 4 years that was operating as a vegetable in Joe Biden.
You didn't even notice that at all? It took Jake Tapper months afterwards, after the administration was over, to notice that and write a book about it?
That's pretty hilarious.
So funny.
Oh, y'all know what's on drug boats, but you couldn't notice that Joe Biden was a vegetable.
You had no idea. And all of a sudden, you're on the side of narco terrorists. Like, we're so concerned.
So concerned.
About the people running drugs out of Venezuela that you're gonna come down on the president. We demand to see all the video. Okay, go look at the video. It's not going to change anybody's mind. If you're against it, you are because it's political, and you feel like you're going to get something out of it. And when everyday Americans see it, they go, good.
Good. There's a reason why that video keeps being dropped by this administration, by this White House, why it keeps being declassified. Because Americans don't mind it.
At all. Why would you?
They actually kind of like it.
Why would you mind it? I mean, after a while, on social media, they'll have those pages where it's like, it's a whole page of people getting arrested and all the crazy reasons they get arrested. There's a reason those things have millions of followers, because it's like, good.
Yeah.
They finally got caught.
I enjoy seeing shoplifters arrested.
Or tackled.
Yes.
And
I enjoy that.
If it's by a police officer or just a good Samaritan.
Yes.
It's just like, no, this ain't happening today.
Yeah.
And just wrap them up.
I love those videos of people, bystanders. Like, I love the videos of people that are just standing in the convenience store and somebody comes in to rob it, and there's some regular Joe who's like, no, not today.
Not today.
Not today, Satan.
And you'll see him, the criminal is shaking with his little gun, and some dude in a cowboy hat just, and then the other dude splits out the door.
It's weird how they always take off. Like, there's also the one where you'll have somebody who shows up, what was it If somebody showed up to a gun store to rob it, I'm like, you went to rob a gun store? Like,
we know.
One of my favorite ones we have from True Prep.
That's right. They sent it to us.
Somebody tried to steal a handgun from True Prep. They didn't even make it halfway through the store.
Had already been wrapped up.
That video went around everywhere.
Viral.
I'm sure it's been millions of views already.
I would love to know that number because it is so viral.
The tackle was clean, man.
Dude, it was. Absolutely. Person at the counter, gets the handgun to look at it, examining it like you would anything else you're going to buy, and then just turns around and does this weird half quick walk thing.
I gotta go.
Yeah, like you're going to get out the door at True Prep on Cobb Parkway, trueprep.com. What? Get out of here. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3 when we continue. The immigration moves by Donald Trump has made a huge impact in the construction industry. Hear from a man who lives and works in that industry, in that world. Next on the Morning Xtra.
Extra 106.3 is connected to the Atlanta community with the local officials and candidates that share your values, plus the national perspective from the most trusted name in news like Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton, and Atlanta's own Neil Boards. Proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about True Prep. 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta or online, truprep.com. That's truprep.com. Now, I highly encourage you, go to the website, go to the store, of course, but go to the website as well because they do have updates every single day about the items that they have in store. First off, if you just want to see some of their hot deals that are out there, some of their sales and clearance items, that is updated on a regular basis. So when you're looking, maybe you're saying, hey, I really am thinking about a Glock 19X. Well, they're going to have it on there. They're also going to have the Glock 19 Gen 4. They're going to have that in the inventory. You know it's there. You can go in store and you can take advantage of that deal. And when you do so, hey, maybe it's a first-time gun buyer. Maybe it's yourself or maybe it's somebody else in your family. You can sign up for one of their workshops. They have another one coming up this weekend geared towards first-time gun buyers. Make sure everything is legal. And then you're also able to make sure that you are a responsible gun owner. Maybe you're looking to conceal carry. They can help you out with that process as well. All sorts of items when it comes to True Prep. They can give you the direction. They have the expertise. And please, never try and steal a handgun from True Prep or else you will go viral. We have learned that. Millions of people will see you tackle, Jerry.
Don't steal a handgun.
No, that's the doctor just letting you know, don't do drugs. Don't steal a handgun from True Prep. That is, I'm not sure they're going to change their slogan to that, but
they should consider it.
They should certainly consider it once you see that viral video. Again, go to truprep.com. That's True Prep. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
The holidays are about moments that last forever. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, every piece of jewelry tells a story, your story. Whether it's a sparkling engagement ring or a gift that says, I love you, we're here to make this season magical with exclusive holiday offers you won't want to miss. From bezel set jewelry in trendy yellow gold to essentials for that layered look. Explore our holiday gift guides or schedule your appointment at SolomonBrothers.com. And don't forget to check out our holiday specials like our famous diamond studs starting at $9.99. It seems like every year, everything gets more expensive, except here. A 3/4 carat diamond pendant for just $14.99. 3 Atlanta locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg. One tradition of excellence. Book your customized shopping experience today at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers, where luxury meets love.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Hey Braves fans, sometimes life throws you a knee-buckling curveball. That's when Truist One Checking steps up to the plate. If you're behind in the count, you won't have to worry about overdraft fees. Plus, eligible clients enjoy a balance buffer for some extra cushion. You'll get a convenient mobile app to keep an eye on things and access to thousands of Truist ATMs. Be ready every inning with Truist One Checking. It's life-ready checking that grows with you. Get Truist One Checking today. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
Ho, ho, holy cow. Family and friends are coming for the holidays, and you need some projects done around the house before they arrive. Relax. We've got you covered. Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia from the Trusted Toolbox. With our handyman for a day deal, we can knock out all those projects you've been putting off for months. From plumbing issues and painting to flooring, fencing, trim work, and much, much more. So get your home ready for the holidays and call us at 770-623-3097, or you could always book it online at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
For anyone who's ever wanted to learn to cook quality barbecue, Southern Thunder Barbecue School is offering a hands-on cooking school experience with training from award-winning barbecue grand champions. It's a fantastic holiday gift. Find out more at southernthunderbbq.com. That's southernthunderbbq.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Monday, December 8th. U.S. immigration officials are opening a new vetting center in Atlanta to boost national security. The facility will use advanced screening and AI to review immigration applications and identify potential threats. USCIS says the center will speed up coordination with federal agencies and strengthen public safety. A new case of chronic wasting disease, often called zombie deer disease, has been confirmed in Atkinson County in southeast Georgia. State officials say it's the 9th infected deer found in Georgia. The disease is always fatal to deer, and wildlife experts warn hunters not to consume any animal that appears to be infected. And Atlanta has been ranked the number 4 most fun city in America. A new Wallet Hub study looked at entertainment, nightlife, dining, and recreation in more than 180 cities. Atlanta scored high for festivals, restaurants, clubs, parks, and affordable activities for both residents and visitors. Today's weather mostly cloudy with a high of 51 degrees. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
How often do y'all take IMDb rankings into consideration? I ask y'all because y'all watch way more movies than I do. You know, like IMDb,
Never.
Rotten Tomatoes, never?
Rotten Tomatoes, but not IMDb.
Okay. I think I understand why. I just read a list of movies, best Christmas movies of all times, ranked by their IMDb score. And Christmas Vacation comes in at 9. This is not to be taken serious, and now I understand
why.
why.
Having some major heavy hitters for the next 8.
No.
I mean, I understand why that is, because Christmas Vacation is going to be a bigger hit with folks who wouldn't use IMDb, right? The younger generation, or the younger generation would put faith in IMDb. The older, I bet Elf is at the top of that list.
No, it's not even in the top 10.
By the way, Zootopia 2, 91% on the tomato meter, 96% on the popcorn meter. So
yeah,
critics liked it, moviegoers liked it. I thought it was really good. It was fun.
Yeah, these
popcorn meter is the regular moviegoers.
Regular moviegoers.
Yeah. That's the only one that matters.
These guys, I'll just give you their top 5 just to keep it quick. Nightmare Before Christmas 5, Christmas Story 4, Miracle on 34th Street 3, Christmas Carol 2, Wonderful Life 1. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of list is this?
That's a poor
This is
list.
terrible.
It's Wonderful Life is a great film.
Oh, yeah,
No, it's fine.
Absolutely.
But you also have to be ready for just, I mean, let's face it, like, you're about to commit suicide.
Yeah.
What a start to a Christmas movie.
What do you think? What do you think? No, it's great. Look, it's fine. It's Home Alone sits at 6. National Lampoon's at Christmas Vacation at 9. The rest of them doesn't even matter. I was so surprised by this, and I couldn't remember which one of the meters y'all went by, and so now it makes sense that Rotten Tomatoes, not IMDb, because I don't use either one.
Rotten Tomatoes, when it comes to the professional reviews, now remember, it's a National Lampoon's movie. 72% though. When it comes to the audience, 86%.
I'm surprised it's not higher than that.
I did see my favorite ugly Christmas sweater of the season thus far over the weekend while we were watching the football game at Glover Park at the brewery over there in Marietta Square. It was Esser's Full. It was just bright red. Just said that uncensored.
Spelled out.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've thought that. Merry Christmas!
Just a picture of the RV underneath it. It's like,
He's out there
we all know.
in that robe with nothing underneath.
It's such a simple scene.
Oh, gosh. It's so great, though. And he picks up the ski saucer or whatever, looks at it.
Well, and the music starts.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and you don't know what he's doing because remember, it like kind of pans towards him, and then
he's got the hose.
You don't know, like, what is he doing?
And then the splattering noise.
And then you like recognize what he's doing.
Dude, the splattering noise. It's because I'm such an audiophile to begin with. That's what I picked up on, the splattering noise of the water coming out of the hose or whatever that's coming out of the hose. I guess it's not water. some water, but sewage. Yeah, I thought y'all might find that interesting. It stood out to me. Christmas Vacation.
Die Hard on that list?
No, but interesting you asked that. Die Hard is not on the list, but if you were to rank it, like if you were to put it in that just by its IMDb score, it would be number 2.
Yeah.
But it's not on the list at all. So anyway.
Die Hard, by the way, Rotten Tomatoes, across the board, 94%, 94%.
Yeah. See, that's why it's about.
And Elf is the same thing. It's like 86%, 80%.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Makes me want to go back and watch it. I watch it at least once a Christmas season. And my wife's like, why are you watching this again? Same reason I'm watching Elf again. Same reason I'm watching Christmas Vacation again.
I can't help myself.
Same reason I watch good movies all the time at Christmas.
It's not like Roadhouse. Roadhouse is a 44% from the professional reviewers and then 67% from the audience.
I think it's a low number for Roadhouse for even the audience.
It's a terrible movie, but I enjoy it.
No, it is, but it's good. It's so bad, it's good. Maybe that's It's almost it's a classic. It's and it's still a movie that my wife has never seen. She's never seen Roadhouse, and she loves Patrick Swayze. Loves all
Well, that's kind of messed up. I think we played it before. So you ever heard the story of Bill Murray? So
yes, yeah, but tell it. It's good.
So you had on their podcast, you have Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, and they have that podcast together. And they had Bill Murray as a guest. And they asked him, like, hey, we heard this story. Is it true? And the story was that every single time Bill Murray is flipping through channels and it lands on Roadhouse, he calls his friend. Now, his friend is married to the hot blonde in Roadhouse. And he calls him up every time to say, yeah, that Patrick Swayze's doing it to her again. It's really rude. He's got her up against a wall.
Bill Murray's the greatest.
And when he says it, he's so deadpan. And the Kelce brothers are dying laughing to know that every time this comes up, he calls his buddy to tell him that his wife is getting ruined by Patrick Swayze on television again.
Bill Murray's a national treasure.
It's awesome.
Man. Dude, who else but Bill Murray has that thought? Hey, why don't I call my buddy and remind him?
He's such an awesome icon of Hollywood in that people sign him to do movies and they're not even sure if he's going to show up. Like first Ghostbusters, he said he would do it.
Yeah, and
he just came walking down the street in New York.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, no, right.
I guess he's going to do the movie.
I guess so. Here he is. No, I know. He's such a quirky madman, which is part of his genius, though. If he weren't that, then it wouldn't be Bill Murray.
He was on Joe Rogan probably a year and a half ago, and there was not one part of it that was slapstick funny, but he was just telling these stories. And he has like some golf gear, and then he starts joking around about what size so-and-so needs. Or he's like, what are you, like a double XL? And the guy's like, I'm like a large. He's like, well, I can't tell. Just in a very Bill Murray way. Like looking over at Tug, like, Tug, what are you, about a 5X? Like, no.
Yeah, I'm just a large there, pal.
It's like, just take it down a notch.
No doubt.
There's a whole website, BillMurrayStory.com, and it comes from all of these just random encounters that people have with him. And it all stems back from one story where he'd crashed some wedding or something like that and told the groom, like, hey, get yourself a haircut or something like that. And then he just like whispers to him, he's like, no one's going to believe you. When you tell this later, not a soul.
No one's going to believe you.
It's BillMurrayStories.com.
BillMurrayStory.com.
There's so much like little comedy. If you've ever seen him in Zombieland. So he's in the movie for like 4 or 5 minutes. And it's because, so a zombie apocalypse occurs. They show up at Bill Murray's house, and it turns out Bill Murray has a makeup guy that makes him look like a zombie so that he can go play golf. All right, so that's the joke.
Yeah.
And because he looks like a zombie, one of the travelers accidentally shoots and he's dying. And they start talking to him. It's like, do you have any regrets? He's like, maybe Garfield. Like, pointing out random movies he was in. I'm like, genius.
And didn't he voice Garfield the TV show too?
Something like that.
I think he did both.
Maybe Garfield.
I hate Mondays.
And dude, I remember being a kid loving Garfield just because of the voiceover was so good. It's crazy because I had no idea then that that's who it was. I just loved it.
Maybe Garfield.
Genius, absolutely genius. I want to play a piece of audio from a construction worker. And this guy is telling you, hey, the changes that the Trump administration is making is having an impact on construction companies. It's night and day the difference. There's a lot to unpack in what he says. There's so many directions this conversation should go and can go. But I want you to hear it first, and then we'll go from there.
So we've had ICE and DHS down in Louisiana for about a week now. And as a business owner, I've been running my own construction company since I was 18 years old. I'm 27 now. We do paint and roofing, drywall, tile, ceramics, trim, molding, carpentry, flooring, concrete, a little bit of everything. I'm seeing firsthand just the shockwave them boys are sending across the state. No immigrants want to go to work. None of them want to even ride in a truck like mine with a ladder rack on it. And it is so amazing. I've gotten more calls in the last week than I've gotten in the last 3 months. I got 20 calls in one day. GC scrambling to try and finish projects. Halfway through, these guys not showing up to work. Starting projects. Landlords, you know how a landlord always has, their go-to guy they call. The boys ain't showing up to do nothing. And this just shows you how bad the problem is down here in Louisiana. I mean, we got a population in our whole state that's like the size of LA County. Genuinely, in our whole state. And they have filled this place like no other. And I've got to see through the presidencies. We had our little heyday with Trump's first go-round, 99 cents a gallon gas. Even with the immigrants here, was still amazing. They weren't pushing like they are right now. Joe Biden got into office, he really my industry. Bad. Bad.
Dude, he goes on and on for another probably 3.5 minutes of just giving example after example. But think about what you could talk about, because we talked about earlier the apartment rents being at 4 months lows.
4 month lows.
We're talking about gas being at maybe a 5-year low. You got him saying, because of the immigration enforcement down in Louisiana, he's gotten more calls in 1 week than he has in the last several months. He talked about the problem being huge, and now it's being taken care of. He talked about the affordability issue. There's so many benefits, and we played J.D. Vance from earlier this morning talking about these very things. So you had the vice president talking about it, and an actual construction owner. Dude's 27, started it when he was 18, saying, yes, what the president and vice president are doing are benefiting me. A guy that started a company, rolled the dice, working my tail off, and now I'm actually getting the fruits of my labor because nobody can undercut me.
Talked about this way earlier in the show. I think 6 o'clock hour, maybe early 7. And it was a real world experience I had. Before we decided to start working on the basement, doing it very slowly and saving the cash we could there, we did talk to a handful of people, came through and gave us quotes. There was one that was a recommendation from a friend. He showed up, undercut everybody by like $30,000 or $40,000. And what his plan is he brings the guys in. He's the general contractor, even though he's not licensed, as from what I understand, as a general contractor. But he speaks Spanish, so these guys roll in and they do the work. Now, yeah, you're going to save a ton of money, at the same time, you're now undercutting the rest of the industry by 30 or 40,000.
You're screwing the people in your neighborhood.
And oh, by the way,
the small businesses.
You don't actually know the quality of work. Come to find out, the guy actually owns a restaurant. He's not a general contractor, but he can wrangle the people. And so that's what people are up against.
That's exactly why they have that kid's up against.
That's why he has no problem with the enforcement of our laws when it comes to immigration.
And if you look at the polling, neither do Americans.
Neither do the rest of Americans.
And I have nothing to do with general contracting. I'm not in his business, but I understand clearly why there's been a change.
And let's face it, if you end up going into that field and that's what you want to work on, then your wages are going to be significantly higher. At one company I spoke to, they basically had a staff of about 6 or 7 people. And as he put it, he's like, these are all our guys. He's like, they're not subbed out to anybody. It's like, this is what we pay. This is why we have this kind of group. I'll even give you another one. Georgia Pack and Load, when we use them for moving, the reason why they get great reviews, it's not like they're hiring randos. These are people that they pay and pay well to keep them on staff. Now, will it cost you a little bit more to get that level of service? Yes, but it's worth it because the people that show up at your door are the same ones that show up at every single one of these projects. So it's better for people that are looking to do this sort of work. They're going to get paid better, and they're going to give you better quality.
Our example follows that one, too. This is 20 years ago when we were moving from Northwest Georgia up in Dalton down to Johns Creek when we bought our first house down there. And we were, young couple, been married 4 years, probably didn't have the money to hire a Georgia Pack and Load, and went with a group that it was just like your contract, throw them together. Dude, our furniture was broken. It was scratched all to pieces. Some of it didn't make it. And what repercussions were there? None. We had none. Who were we going to go? They quit answering the phone.
I mean, they gave me a contract with, here's what we're covering, here's what we got. If something happens, let us know.
Exactly.
I was like, great.
We took the shortcut, and Lord, we paid for it.
And you find out.
We paid for it. We paid for it in different ways.
But that's the other thing, too. Had it been a different time, and I went with the shortcut route, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But what happens when suddenly half of his guys aren't going to work? He's not doing the work on that project.
Definitely not. He's going to hire people.
He's
going to pay more.
He's going to have to go find some.
And pay them more. When we come back, I want to stick with this because J.D. Vance, his America First ideas about immigration, I think is a good dovetail with this. Next on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Monday, December 8th. The college football playoffs are now set. The SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs are officially the 3 seed overall, and they will enjoy a bye week before awaiting the winner of Tulane and Ole Miss. Georgia will next play on January 1st in the Sugar Bowl. Playoff snub Notre Dame, they've decided to not take part in bowl season this year. The Falcons, they're now just 4-9 after a 37-9 loss at home to the Seattle Seahawks. And Monday Night Football ends Week 14 in the NFL tonight as the 8-4 Philadelphia Eagles are in Los Angeles to play the 8-4 Chargers. That kickoff is set for 8:15. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Atlanta Braves single game tickets for the 2026 season are now on sale. Get your tickets for some exciting NL East matchups next season, plus great series against the Red Sox, Cubs, Dodgers, and more. And snag the first giveaway of the season, the Drake Baldwin Rookie of the Year bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola on March 31st during the opening homestand.
Baldwin sends one soaring, got a shot, and that is out of here.
And fans can also look forward to the return of some popular ticket packages, including Hello Kitty, Girls Night Out, and Father's Day Catch on the Field, which includes a 20-minute session on the field after the game to play catch. And the Braves are excited to also announce some brand new ticket packages honoring pop culture icons SpongeBob and Snoopy. And it's never too soon to plan your group outing. Great seats and hospitality spaces are also on sale. So visit Braves.com/promos to see more details and purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
Hi, it's Los, here with Tom Mitchell, the Honest Car Guy. Tom, you are changing the way people are buying their next pre-owned car or truck. How are you doing it?
You know, Los, we found a better way for customers to buy a car. An honest way, a very transparent way. You pay what we pay plus our honest fee.
How do you prove that?
We even prove it to you by giving you a copy of the bill of sale at the end of the deal.
How much can people save when they buy their next vehicle with the Honest Car Guy?
I've saved people upwards of $20,000 and $30,000. I mean, it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car, and the price of the car. You know, in a $15,000 car, I can't save you $20,000. We can probably save you $2,000 or $3,000. But it's through the course of the whole sale. The big one here that people don't realize, the financing. You go into the dealership, they tell you your rate's 9%. Well, really, it's probably 7% because they're allowed to make 2 points on there. The Honest Car Guy, you'll save an average of $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the car.
Folks, if you want to save thousands on your next pre-owned car or truck, try the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1 or honestcarguy.com.
Hey guys and girls, if you're losing your hair and you're like me, you need a simple solution that works. You want the best modern technology with top-rated physicians. Something that's guaranteed to work, and that is Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair gave me my hairline back, and it's completely redefined hair restoration from the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed atmosphere with the most experienced professionals. Tens of thousands, including me, have received Advanced Hair's breakthrough treatment, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the Advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix hair loss today, starting with your free consultation. You're also going to get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. You want to make that call right now. 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
We all know that life can be unpredictable. The moment you're planning that family trip and then the next somebody is sick. And that's why I want to talk to you about the Jace case, your ultimate safety net when emergencies strike. The Jace case isn't just that mess of medications behind the mirror up in the cabinet. It's an organized doctor-prescribed case of life-saving tools paired with a set of cards explaining exactly how and when to use these medications. The case is peace of mind in a time of uncertainty. Imagine having your essential prescriptions right at your fingertips, ready to go when you need them most. Whether it's a sudden allergy flare-up or a common cold, you won't have to scramble to find the help you need. It's about taking charge of your health and being prepared no matter what life throws at you. When you order your Jace case today, use the promo code BECK at jace.com for a discount. Don't wait for the unexpected to catch you off guard. Be ready with the right medications on hand the moment you need them at jase.com, jace.com, promo code BECK.
Hey, it's Flounder, and the Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
You have officially been invited to come up for Thanksgiving dinner and spend the night. There's actually a bedroom and a bed. There's a place you can stay.
Oh, golly.
I said this would be your response, but I was told I had to ask anyway.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
Biggest story of the day seems to be Notre Dame being left out of the college football playoff.
Is it?
But I think it's right where it needs to be. I mean, I don't feel bad for Notre Dame.
We started off the show. Here. Is it better if they're in?
Yes. I'll agree with that.
In the same way that BYU, it's better if they're in. But because of lawsuits, you have to give the group of five an opportunity within the playoffs. Because
we didn't
of
have
lawsuits.
to give them two, did we?
Remember,
that was just one.
From the start of this, in 2012 all the way to 2023, so you basically get 11, 12 seasons worth. There was only, I think it was one time when a group of five team made the playoffs. One. So nobody gets a chance at this thing. It was Cincinnati. It's when they played Alabama, and Alabama just beat them, just whooped them.
Yeah.
So they've had to be assured a place at the table. Well, when you have two teams that basically qualified under the conditions by which you get a place at the table, that's how you end up with James Madison, which is a fun story.
But it ain't gonna be fun long.
But it's not going to be fun to watch.
It's not going to be fun very long. We already had. That's why I was never a fan of expanding the college football playoff from 4, because 2 of the games are going to be blowouts. 2 of the 3, like 2 semifinals and then the final. You could never tell which one it was going to be, but 2 of the 3 were going to be blowouts. And all that did was, when you expand it, is it fun? Sure. But it's going to create even more opportunities for blowouts, and especially when you put 2 group of 5 teams in.
Well, Tulane is not supposed to be able to compete with Ole Miss, but again, Ole Miss is in
limbo a little bit.
It's in a weird place because of having your coach move on, and you've got Pete Golding now, but yet it's in flux. It's what it is. You lost, 4 or 5 members of your staff. JMU is not going to be able to compete with Oregon. Oregon's just on a different level. So more than likely you're going to have 2 blowouts. But that Alabama-Oklahoma game.
That looks good.
That one has, I've got a heart around that one.
Yeah. Well,
and I love the Texas A&M matchup,
Miami.
too, with Miami.
Dude,
I'm
that's
like,
gonna be great.
Heart.
Yeah, those are going to be great games.
Give me these.
Why couldn't we get 4?
I know. Listen, I would have taken 3.
Yeah, exactly.
We got spoiled last year because the group of 5 team ended up being Boise State. So they got a bye. They weren't available until the next round. So at least the whole first 4 games all had big school matchups. Now, even the idea that you had Indiana, that was such a great story last year, and them playing Notre Dame, okay, here's it's a pretty big matchup. SMU obviously winning the ACC. That was going to be tough against Penn State, being how Penn State was playing. And then Penn State obviously ends up knocking off Boise. They get down to the last 4 teams. They bow out, and they fire their coach. And by the way, since we are getting into the unintended consequences and what happens if you don't have a plan, always have a plan. If you're a business owner, you know this. In your drawer is the phone number to 5 people you can call if something happens and you need somebody. Hey, my accountant just left. I got a few more. Hey, my main drywall guy is not available. He's sick this week.
Can I give you an example of why I know that's true? We were sitting Friday night, did a just the fellas got together, not the wives, just the fellas. We were there. And the waitress that was waiting at the table, young girl, really bright, just a joy, And my buddy who owns a small business, he was like, "Have you ever done X, Y, and Z?" And she was like, "Matter of fact, that's what I got my degree in." He was like, "If you're interested, I have a position at." But that's what I'm saying.
Always looking for talent.
Always looking for talent.
Always looking for talent. Penn State, when it came to the December signing period, it was just a week ago. They're ranked, I think, 126th in the country. There's only 131 teams. They're almost dead last. You don't have a coach. And you finally have a coach.
And a bunch of those that they did have just followed that coach to Virginia Tech. At least 3 that I know of.
At least 3 that I know of, but there was quite a few. Virginia Tech hadn't signed a 4-star in a decade, and they got 4 right off the jump.
Boom.
So
it's amazing what happens.
Have a plan.
Yeah.
Have a plan.
Is there a school in the history of college sports that have less of a plan than Penn State? Going back
at this point,
let's rewind back to what was happening, and I don't want to go into the details. Everybody already knows.
If you don't
know, that's not a plan.
There was a case where an assistant coach on their team, and then as a retiree, was still tied to the program, having a boys program of mentorship, but he was sexually abusing them. And Penn State found out about it and covered it up.
You're talking about not having a plan?
Not having a plan. In fact, Joe Paterno wanted to finish coaching, and they're like, "We can't, coach. We got to fire you."
Yeah, you got to go.
And then he died of cancer 3-4 months later.
Yeah. It was a disaster. I can't think of a football program with less of a plan than them.
If you're going to fire somebody or you need somebody else, again, the responsible thing is desk drawer.
Yeah, have your go-to people. And maybe 1 or 2 or all of them won't be available, but at least you know where you're going first.
I mean, the plan was, even around here, when it was going down with Mark Richt, the understanding was Kirby Smart's either going to be at Georgia or South Carolina. Once it went down, it's Kirby's going to be at Georgia. And South Carolina looked at it like, well, we just barely missed him. It's like, no, he was only going to Georgia.
Yeah, you didn't barely miss anything.
No. That's who
he played here. He grew up in Georgia. He wants to be. Dude, I don't know that there's a coach in big-time sports that wants to be at their program more than Kirby Smart wants to be at Georgia. The second one might be down at Georgia Tech because he also played there.
Because he played there.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah, it is.
To be coaching at your alma mater.
And both of them have been really successful. Obviously, Kirby's had a little more as far as time in saddle and time in pocket.
I would also say it's a much bigger turnaround with what is going on at Tech than Kirby was able to take those Mark Richt recruits out a little something. By next year, they're playing in a national championship game in 2017.
That's right. And but it's interesting that both teams have success, and both teams have a guy that played there, wants to be there, loves it like you as a fan.
And congratulations to Tech as well, although Buster Faulkner's moving on.
Going to Florida.
But they just went ahead and re-signed their coach and gave him a new contract.
5 years.
Good deal.
And now we're headed down to Orlando to be in a big bowl game.
Good deal. If I was a Tech fan, if I was a big Tech grad, I'd be like, let's go to Orlando.
Absolutely.
It's a great trip for where they're at.
And it's close enough. They'll have a great. My son's going to the game. I mean, he's awesome. Because his buddy's on the squad, so he's going down there to support him.
I go to Orlando too much already. I don't need another trip.
But for different reasons.
Me and the Orange County Convention Center are very well known to one another.
We've been dealing
We've made that walk a lot.
We're dealing with each other for quite some time. For us, it was never the Orlando Convention Center. It was always Wide World of Sports.
Oh, sure.
Always, every year.
All the baseball fields there.
Oh, my gosh. It's a great complex.
We played there one time, and it was because it was when we got down to the final 8 teams in the country for AAUs when we were there for volleyball. That's where they moved it to. So we were like Convention Center and then final 8. And the cool part about them finishing where they did, and they finished 3rd in the country that year, is that they got to meet Mickey and Minnie on stage.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a cool deal.
Dude. Who doesn't love that?
They've since moved to a different location, so now you don't meet Mickey or Minnie anymore. Instead,
it's unfortunate.
They've got a giant LED board with like explosions and everything. Yeah, it was crazy.
I've seen that. That looks like big-time college football level.
Last year when they finished 3rd, they got up on that stage and were like, this thing is huge.
When Los texted me the video, he's like, check this out. I was like, holy cow, they're doing that for
kids, for 14-year-old girls.
Yeah, incredible. And I love it. I hope they do that more because it's fun. It's exciting. It keeps kids engaged. It's exactly what they're looking for. And then you earn it to get there, too, which is exactly what you and I are looking for, the meritocracy.
Well, earn it.
That's right. Go earn it. We hope we've earned your respect and earned your attention, and that you'll listen again tomorrow. That's what we hope. And we appreciate you being here. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co.
I'm going to leave everybody with that Arthur Blank bomb and see how it goes today.
Yeah, that's right. Just let it fester.
Might get canceled.
Might. Probably not. For Los and Dre, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.